Salutations! Welcome to Pod Mortem. I'm Reneé Hunter Vasquez, joined as always by my co-host, my husband, and my brother.
Hi, I'm John Paul Vasquez.
Hi, I'm Travis Hunter.
This week, we're recording live from the Kahiki Palms Motel discussing the 2005 horror crime film, The Devil's Rejects. This film was written and directed by Rob Zombie. Serving as a sequel to Rob Zombie's debut film, House of a Thousand Corpses, The Devil's Rejects gives us another chapter in the saga of the Firefly family. Embracing his hatred of sequels, Rob Zombie set out to make an entirely different film that could surpass the original. With the familiar characters and a new cast, complete with classic horror icons, The Devil's Rejects sets itself apart. So, what did you guys think about The Devil's Rejects the first time you saw it?
I was about 20, 21 when I watched this the first time.
When it came out?
When it came out, yeah, and I did not care for it. I don't know, man. It didn't do anything for me. And then watching it for the show, it still kind of didn't do anything for me.
But you didn't like House of a Thousand Corpses either.
I didn't, but after watching this, I do a little more.
Really?
Well, that
Yeah.
is something just very quickly that we talked about before we sat down, that watching this film again,
Right.
because none of us had seen it in a very long time,
Mm-hmm.
we all wanted to retroactively change our House of a Thousand Corpses score.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And what's weird to me is because always growing up, well, no, because we loved both of them as kids.
Yeah.
But I think later on, whenever we talked about them, we were like, well, House of a Thousand Corpses is kind of the weird one that's like, okay, and The Devil's Rejects is a really good film.
Yeah.
But then after watching it again,
Yeah.
I feel like I appreciated House of a Thousand Corpses
A little more, yeah.
And I was surprised.
So what would
Yeah.
y'all give it now? I took a peek before we sat down, and T and I gave it a 5.5, and you, John Paul, gave it a 3.
Oh, I give it a 4.
All right.
Well, yeah, we'll give it one more.
He's not going crazy here.
What about you,
I
T?
said just a little more.
I think I would move from a 5.5, honestly, legitimately, because I rewatched it last night as well. And there is a weird, chaotic energy to it.
Yeah.
But there is, like, kind of the style of it is interesting.
Right.
And it's, most of all, and we'll get to this in a bit, House of a Thousand Corpses is fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And this movie's not. not fun.
Not so much.
No. So I think I'm going to move from a 5.5 to a 6.5.
All right.
I agree 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to go. So we all just went up a point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
that's fair.
fine.
So,
That's fine.
all right. But T, what did you think?
All right. So, I mean, as I said before, I did have more of an appreciation for House of a Thousand Corpses after watching this. That's not to say that I hated this film.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed quite a bit of this film. And then there was a lot of it that just flat out didn't work for me.
Yeah.
But I think that having watched it, Okay, so 2005, I'm 14, you're 15 or 16.
Yeah.
This is like perfect for us.
Right.
Right up our alley. It's incredibly offensive.
Yeah.
100%.
Like in a lot of ways and a lot of things that we probably shouldn't be watching, which only makes us enjoy it more.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
But then revisiting it as an adult, it doesn't hit as it did.
Right.
One thing I will say, and I do have to get this off my chest because friend of the show, Brittany Ramatar,
We love you, Brittany.
Yes, Brittany.
we love you so much,
you
Brittany.
might want
Yes.
to turn it off now.
Brittany does love and defend Rob Zombie.
Yes.
And I do want to say I am a fan of Rob Zombie.
That's the thing that I feel like gets lost.
It does. It gets very lost. I love Rob Zombie. I think he seems like a really cool person.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Has a great mind and knowledge of horror.
Yeah.
Seems very smart, intelligent, very cool in interviews.
Right.
The man loves his wife,
Yeah.
Adores his wife.
Yeah.
which is very admirable.
Yes.
Yeah.
I enjoy his music.
Definitely.
So, I mean, there's a lot of good things, but I will say that some of his films don't hit for me.
Right.
And JP's like, that's an understatement. I think here's the thing about The Devil's Rejects. I think that it is admirable for him to go so different than House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah. It's ballsy.
Very ballsy. But at the same time, I think, because he said in an interview with the AV Club that House of a Thousand Corpses is kind of like psychedelic fever dream cartoon kind of a thing where it's kind of just ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is the more grounded, graphic, realistic of the two films. To me, I think these characters and the writing works better when it is like a
cartoon.
Yeah.
I was going to say that I agree that it's more realistic, but I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Because especially when, I'm sorry, I don't want to step on your toes, but when these are supposed to be our protagonists, and I mean, we'll get into it, but there are egregious things that are done here with no humanization of these characters or explanation for why they are the way they are. And these are our people that we're rooting for.
Somehow.
I think that somehow it works more when it's just this hodgepodge of craziness and this deranged family that's doing this crazy shit. And it's okay if you don't know why when there's Dr. Satan, oozing out pink slime and shit. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you have the veneer of the cartoon.
Yeah.
Kind of separates you from.
Yeah, there's a distance there.
Yeah.
And so now you rip that away and you're dropping these people into the real world with real world consequences for cartoonishly villainous action.
Yeah.
And maybe that is a big part of why I'm like, because as a kid, and I had this poster on my wall.
Yeah.
The poster of their mugshots. Yeah. I loved this.
Right.
And now that I'm older and I understand, I don't want to say I didn't understand humanity when I was a teenager, but I think I just reveled in the depravity of it, or like you said, T, we're not supposed to be watching it. This is so fucked
rebellious.
up. And exactly. Now I'm like, this is who we're rooting for. This is who you gave us. I'm just confused.
Well, and in all fairness, I know everyone at the table here has nothing wrong with rooting for an anti-hero.
100%. Yeah.
I'll root for Otis when he's like, fish boy.
Yeah. Otis, you're crazy.
But the shit that happens in the hotel,
yes,
irredeemable.
No. You can't, and that's the thing is that, and it's funny because I'm sure on the episode of House of a Thousand Corpses, a big issue of mine was that I really loved the first half, and then it starts to fall apart for me. This, we start in shambles. To me, the beginning of this is not good. The first half of this is not good.
Right.
And then it kind of builds its way up from there. But when you have, and again, we will get to it, when you have Otis's character doing what he does in the first act of this, you're not coming back. You can't come back from that and be like, oh, Otis, no, get away. I kill him. You deserve to die. You know what I mean?
No,
I don't understand what you were trying to make us feel. I don't know. Maybe it just works for teenagers. I don't know.
I think because there's something very nihilistic about it that I think teenagers can relate to.
Yeah.
Because we all, whether, there was varying degrees of fuck the world attitude.
Of course, yeah.
And so this very much speaks to that. But at the same time, it's I don't know. I think that it's simply a matter of taking these characters and putting them into the real world.
Yeah.
Right.
That it just something doesn't gel. And I will say that I do appreciate, I read a lot of interviews. Rob Zombie very much discusses all of his influences for this film, and they're all very good films.
Yeah.
And they're all very good genres, subgenres. It's just, I think that his thing where House of a Thousand Corpses was kind of a blender.
Yeah.
Of all of these things that he loves. It was almost like a Rob Zombie music video made into a full-length film.
Yeah.
Which honestly somehow
which is
kind
fine.
of because objectively, if you look at it, you look at the 3-act structure and everything, this is the better, well-crafted film.
Yeah.
So why do I like the other one better?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like maybe if he would have started from scratch and made new characters that are on the run, and maybe they have a reason for, a life of crime, and maybe they're not exactly doing the crimes that the Firefly family is doing. I mean, I feel like you could have had something.
Yeah.
Because we were talking off mic, and there are, off the top of my head, 2 sequences in this that I really, really enjoy.
Yeah.
The way that they're shot, the way that they're framed, the music that's used, the pacing of it, that, taking a step back, I don't care who made this. This is great to me.
Yeah.
So I know that it's there. And I just feel like the story, there's just something not right. And I'm sorry, the dialogue.
Yeah.
They're more human than human. I mean,
if you
one might say. Now, before we take this film hostage, we would like to issue a warning for spoilers. Podmortem is a very in-depth podcast, and in thoroughly discussing horror films, we have no choice but to spoil a thing or two. If you don't wish to be spoiled, please go watch the film, then come back and enjoy the show. If you've already seen the film or don't care about spoilers, then let's go on the run. Now, this film relies heavily on having already seen House of a Thousand Corpses. If you haven't, we suggest you go watch it or listen to episode 28 of our show as a refresher. So the film opens with blues music playing. A camera flashes and we see gruesome crime scene evidence photos of murdered women. A newspaper clipping of the headline, "Body of a Woman Found," is on top, along with the label maker's sentiment of, "We killed, she died real pretty."
I mean, I guess that's technically a sentence. I think my thing is that
If we use technically very loosely.
but you made the book. I don't think you need to, like, if you take a photo, you're like, we went to the Grand Canyon. Like, we see you there in the photo. You've done
These
this.
are also, well, yeah. I don't know.
One thing I will say is I did hear on commentary that Rob Zombie put these together digitally on his computer because he didn't like what he shot for these scrapbooks physically. So these are not real scrapbooks.
Huh.
Oh, all right.
And that kind of surprised me. That is kind of the start of a lot of surprisingly digital things in this film.
A lot of digital things.
Some of them work.
Yeah.
Some of them
not so much.
Yeah. I did also watch a documentary called 30 Days in Hell. I want to call that out right now because it was 2.5 hours long for this film, but you do see a lot of stuff and a lot of things that they went through to make it, but I am going to be referencing it a lot.
Okay.
Was this 2.5 hours in hell?
Well, it wasn't bad.
It's warm in here.
It was like purgatory.
Okay.
It wasn't too bad.
But we get a newspaper clipping of a smiling blonde woman with the headline, "A Thorny Tweak for the Rose," next to a case file of close-ups of her dead and bloodied face. We get text that reads, as Radio Chatter narrates, on May 18th, 1978, Sheriff John Quincy Wydell, along with local authorities in Rugsville County, led a search and destroy mission on a decaying farmhouse. The camera clicks again, and there's another missing photo of a 19-year-old girl next to pictures of her dead. Text reads, inside the house, police discovered a collection of diaries and scrapbooks detailing the accounts of more than 75 murders. After another flash, there are photos of Denise's body from the first film.
I do like that there are slight little winks
to
the first film. I would prefer more, but I understand why, because it feels so different.
Yeah.
Why they're not like, you guys remember Earl? You know? So, I mean, I understand.
Well, that's another thing that's noticeably absent is Dr. Satan.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, we're not going to be doing that.
There is something, there's something we'll talk about later with Dr. Satan. But he does not end up in the edited film.
Right. But we get more text. The family responsible for these brutal crimes was forever to be known as the Devil's Rejects. In another case file, next to an article detailing a missing woman, we zoom in on a photo of her until we were actually with her body.
So I do think that this was an effective opening.
Yeah.
I will give it that. I do think that it does rely a lot on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
100. I mean, the camera flashes and everything, for sure.
And you gave yourself that nickname. You know what I mean? Nobody said that.
That's why when they're like, they came to be known as, I was like, so is it the media? Or we're like, no, we're the Devil's Rejects now.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. I personally prefer the Firefly family. I think that sounds cooler.
Right.
I will say the Devil's Rejects are, because if Satan's like, guys, you got to get out.
Yeah.
that does sell.
You threw too many
much,
parties.
yeah.
You gotta go.
This is getting crazy, guys.
This goes against the lease agreement.
Gonna have to evict all three of you. But one thing I will say is that this was one of the first times that I've ever seen, in my memory anyway, of not seeing a movie sequel that was like House of 2,000 Corpses or something, which is what I expected. So again, when you think of it,
so late.
I know. Yeah. So when you think of it as like a ballsy marketing move to say, this is the Devil's Rejects.
Yeah.
This isn't like, House of 1,000 Corpses presents the Devil's Rejects.
It's not a subtitle.
No,
Yeah.
I thought that was, again, ballsy.
Yeah. But the woman that we zoomed in on is being dragged through the woods completely naked by a very tall man with the hood over his face. He drags her for a long time until they come to a road where officers drive by with their lights on. The man lifts up his hood to look at the officers, who don't notice him at all, and reveals himself to be Tiny, played by Matthew McGrory, very badly burned from the first film.
I will say that his makeup looks a lot better this time around.
Yeah.
I was very surprised to learn that this film had the same budget as House of a Thousand
Oh,
Corpses.
wow.
If not less, because of all the music licensing that we'll listen to.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
And also actor salaries, because there are a lot more
Yes.
Yeah.
people in this.
Yeah.
But no, it's again, I think that it shows Rob Zombie's ability to use his budget well.
For sure.
Which I know producers usually get the credit for that, but Rob Zombie in that documentary really talked about how he stretched this budget.
Yeah.
And you can tell because it does look more film-like then.
It absolutely
right.
does.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that a lot of House of a Thousand Corpses was filmed in his basement, but
Yeah.
it's still, it looks like a film.
Right.
I also liked the dramatic reveal of Tiny, like we didn't know who that was.
There's only one 7'4"
Yeah.
Exactly.
member of the family. One thing I did learn from the commentary is that they had a hard time finding a stunt woman to do this stunt
I bet.
because
Yeah.
she is being dragged
Yeah.
through this thing. And he said on commentary there were fire ants, there were like all
Oh.
kinds of
Oh,
things.
man.
So I think they put a little something under her to make it a little more graceful.
Good.
Yeah.
But it's still not easy.
Yeah.
And Matthew McGrory, of course.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
I think he passed away, a few months after this was
Yeah.
released?
Yeah.
Right after.
Very sad.
Yeah.
But good that he got to play the character again.
Yeah.
But many police cars pull up to the Firefly farmhouse. There's animals out here. And
Yeah.
I think a few times, because we do see more animals later, I'm like, are they taking care of them?
Like
Like I
they're-
don't see them coming out and
Yeah.
like
Feeding
brushing them and feeding
yeah.
them. And I was taken aback. But anyway.
No, they're cow bond like Arthur and Red
Yes.
Dead is not very high, I would say. And this is a straight up new house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly, because they filmed the first film on the Universal backlot, and so the house they used was actually built for the Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, that movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so it's the same house, and that's been used for a ton of things. But this one they found, I think it's on Sable Ranch or something, and they use the exteriors a lot, but all the interiors are a set.
All right.
And so they get a really good visual
Yeah.
because it looks like the house that the Fireflies might live in.
Yeah.
Right.
All dilapidated and, again, not taken care of. Anything.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's why I was like, what the fuck? And they look healthy and fine.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Now, how did that pig's head get up there?
Yeah.
Really ties the place together.
But inside, Otis, played by Bill Moseley, is asleep, cuddling up with a dead, naked woman. Baby, played by Sherry Moon Zombie, sleeps in her bed alone, as does Mother Firefly, played by Leslie Easterbrook. Now, notably, Leslie Easterbrook is not Karen Black.
No, she is not.
Karen Black wanted more money, and I guess they couldn't afford her, so
And
she
so-
walked.
All right.
I mean, I get it, but I also get, the budgetary concerns.
Yeah.
I would like to know how much she was asking because I
Yeah.
feel like, honestly, no offense to Leslie Easterbrook.
No, because she does
she
well.
does really
Yeah.
well. There are some line readings that don't jive for me that I wonder how Karen Black would have done them.
Yeah.
There is, we'll talk about one in particular later on, but as for right now, I think she does well.
Yeah.
And I will say Otis looks nothing like the Otis we remember.
No.
He's basically just Rob Zombie
Right.
now. But we love Bill Moseley.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Outside, though, Sheriff John Quincy Wydell, played by William Forsythe, and Officer Ray Dobson, played by Dave Sheridan, get out of their cars. Wydell tells Dobson that it's time for them to do what the good Lord would refer to as a cleansing of the wicked, or what his brother George, God rest his soul, would call a 100% Alabama ass kicking. Now, this already, I feel like, is the biggest tie-in to the first film.
Yes, and I appreciated it.
Yeah,
Right,
I really
right.
like it, and I feel like it gives Wydell in this film a lot to work with.
Yeah.
His brother being the officer that Mother Firefly shot in the first one.
Yeah, the I Remember You sequence.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which was fantastic.
Which was great. That's the thing, is the man can do well.
Yes.
I seen it.
Yes.
I know you're capable of it.
And it's nuts because sometimes some real brilliance shines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, you get it.
But do you? It's like the kombucha girl.
Yeah. No. Well,
No. But Dobson asks if they're going to die here today, and Wydell tells him that dying is not an option. He needs to stick that in his brain because any other thought is going to get him killed. Wydell addresses the rest of the officers that it's time to do what they were put on the earth to do. He addresses the Firefly house through an intercom, introducing himself by name and waking the three of them up immediately. He tells them that they are surrounded and have no chance for escape.
So I do want to say, again, with the connection to the first film, which I did appreciate, according to that AV Club interview, this was actually the entire idea that led to The Devil's Rejects. Whenever House of a Thousand Corpses was being released, Rob Zombie wanted to come up with a sequel idea just in case it was very successful. And so he was like, well, what if Wydell's brother sought revenge?
I like that.
Right.
And then that's all that it was.
Yeah.
I will say that this is where it begins the Tarantino bit for me.
Yeah.
When he says, you better stick that in your gray matter and make it stick.
Yeah.
You're going to end up cold slab, toad tag, mail home
Send
to your
home to
mom in
mama.
a plastic bag. Are we Crystal? I'm like, this is very Tarantino.
Yeah, no, that's something I wanted to touch on as well, because for me, a lot of what doesn't work, I'm not going to say everything that doesn't work, but the dialogue is very cringeworthy a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And look, I love saying fuck as much as the next, probably more than the next person.
Unless me and JP are the next people.
Exactly. I'll speak for everyone. We love to say fuck.
Well,
okay?
yeah.
There's
just a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's not any way that I've heard anybody over like 14 speak.
Right.
But,
But at 14, this was the shit.
it was the shit.
And I was like, yeah, fucking get him, fucking.
But my point is the dialogue that is very like quote worthy maybe, or catchy, or okay, that was pretty good, feels incredibly Tarantino. And I know that T and I have expressed ourselves as Tarantino fans, not necessarily of the man, but of his work. Whether you like him or you don't, he has a very specific vibe.
And there's also a repetition to a lot of his dialogue.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that'll come up a lot later.
And so I'm like, that's Tarantino. That's to the point where I'm like, you had to know we would catch it. You know what I mean? Like,
the man wears his influences on his sleeve.
Yeah.
As does
Yeah.
Tarantino.
as does Tarantino, but
Right,
Tarantino
right.
will be like, yeah, I watched this and I love this, so I kind of remade it my own way.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Point is, that's the first of many very
Yeah.
Tarantino lines in the film.
And oddly, a lot of the lines that we may consider somewhat quote-unquote cringeworthy
Right.
would have worked a lot better in a House of a Thousand Corpses setting.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
again,
yeah.
because it is kind of this like you said, the psychedelic, like cartoonish
Yeah.
vibe. And again, it's when you start us there and these characters are at home there. And then now, without changing the characters, we're really just supposed to seamlessly accept them and do it.
Wait,
It
so you didn't lower anybody into the ground? There wasn't a fucking like doctor's office castle situation of skulls and like the fucking labyrinth and
Playing the guitar and shit. It's like, what the hell's going on down there?
Paris catacombs beneath your house. That didn't happen? Okay.
Exactly.
Fair
Exactly. But Mother Firefly runs into Baby's room to tell her that there's 1 million cops outside. She says there's 1 million fucking cops outside.
Of course.
But Baby's already dressed and holding a shotgun. When they go into Otis's room, he's getting his gun ready as well, and they take the opportunity to bicker, I'm sure trading fuck yous, because that's 90% of Baby and Otis's interaction is saying fuck you. No, fuck you.
Dynamic
that's half
is,
of it. But when they go downstairs, RJ, played by Tyler Mane, is already posted up by the window, reporting about 25 cops outside.
So again, Tyler Mane is replacing the actor who played RJ
in the first one.
film.
Yeah.
But Tyler Mane would go on to be Rob Zombie's Michael Myers in both Halloween films.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
He also, and this surprised me, but it doesn't when you look at him, but he used to be a professional wrestler as well.
Shit.
And
Yeah, I can see that.
I read on, I think it was like slamwrestling.net, if I'm not mistaken, but he had an interview there, and he not only trained originally in the Hart family dungeon
Oh, nice.
for wrestling fans
Yeah.
who know how important that is.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
He also, I think he was tag team partners with Kevin Nash before Nash went to WWF.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Hell
it?
yeah.
I was
so
like, wow.
he's like, he was wrestling.
Yeah. He was in WCW.
Nice. All right.
Doesn't get a lot of time in this film, though.
No.
No.
Not at all.
Not at all. But Baby asks where Tiny is, and when RJ says he hasn't seen him, Mother Firefly in a panicked voice says that Tiny went out last night. Otis tells everyone to shut up, and the standoff begins. They all get into position, Mother Firefly and Baby going into the kitchen. Mother Firefly begins to cry, saying that she's thinking of old times and telling Baby that when she was a baby, she looked like an angel. But again, she's like, just like when you was a fucking baby.
I was
It's
like, really?
Ma'am. Ma'am.
Yeah.
Anyway. But Baby says that she already knows this. Mother Firefly's told her that a million times.
If you do recall, they had a very strong connection in House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
So I do like seeing that here again.
Right.
Where she's like, Mama, you told me that, because...
And it's necessary
Yeah.
as it
Right,
goes on
right.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
But outside, Wydell commands the officers to open fire on the count of 3. As he counts down, Baby tells Mother Firefly that she loves her, and Mother Firefly says the same. They all pull down metal masks and get ready, each of them freezing when they get into position. Wydell yells 3, and then he freezes 2, and then everything moves very quickly.
I do love that Otis's mask has his skull paint
Yeah.
from House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah, that is cool.
I'm like, these little slight nods.
Yeah.
If you're paying attention at home.
Right.
This kind of took a long time for me because, like, the cops, you already announced yourself.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now you're waiting 10 more whole ass minutes before you open fire. Then it's like, I'm going to shoot in 3, 2. It's like, what the fuck?
Well, you
are
have to give them a
doing?
chance to get their guns too.
No.
It's only fair.
That's shootout etiquette.
As dangerous as you're saying this group is,
Yeah.
like, but what? Why? What are you doing? What is happening?
You would think that you would surprise them.
Right.
You know what they've done.
They're
No,
like,
yeah.
wakey, eggs and bacon.
We'll be shooting in about 10 minutes.
Feel free to
It's
slip
like,
out the
yeah.
back. It's like, wait, what? These are the nicest cops.
Yeah.
But the Firefly family shoots from inside the house as the police open fire on them, blasting holes into the house. Otis is able to shoot an officer and even shoots Wydell, but he seems unaffected because of his bulletproof vest. This only pisses him off, actually, and he starts to walk closer to the house, still firing his shotgun. He finally tells the officers to hold their fire and has Dobson throw tear gas inside. Dobson does, and the house is filled with smoke.
Man's got an arm on him.
He does. He does.
I think he picked the wrong career.
Officers wearing gas masks enter. One of them is Kane Hodder.
Yes.
Uncredited.
Oh, wow.
He was the stunt coordinator for the film.
Yeah. That is very cool.
nice.
Yeah.
Guns still drawn, they make their way into the living room. One by one, Otis, RJ, Mother Firefly, and Baby all step out of their cover with their metal shield masks on and open fire. The officer in front is immediately hit and goes down. The family stands behind RJ, who has like complete metal armor, not just the mask.
Yeah.
Every shot that hits him only bounces off, and they're able to shoot multiple officers. Baby, Otis, and Mother Firefly start to leave, but RJ stands his ground. This enables the other officers, including Wydell, to shoot him until he goes down.
They said on commentary that RJ's armor was basically functioning.
Right.
And so it wasn't like anything lethal or even like non-lethal rounds or anything like that. But they were shooting projectiles at his armor legitimately.
Oh, nice.
So that's like real.
That
yeah,
is cool.
The noise,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I will say they breached way too soon.
Yeah.
They had no confirmed kills.
No.
Like, no, they've got to be
probably
dead.
Mother Firefly rushes to RJ, lifting up his mask and checking on him. Baby screams, trying to get to her mother, but Otis pulls her back, grabs her hand, and leads her out. Mother Firefly continues to cradle RJ, who is unresponsive, until Wydell rolls up on her with his shotgun. Quickly, Mother Firefly grabs a gun and points it at her own head. Wydell tells her to lower it, but she only says, "I'm sorry, Sheriff, but you ain't getting me." She pulls the trigger, but the gun is empty.
With a dry, cool wit like that, she could be an action hero.
Absolutely.
And I like this moment.
Yeah. It just shows that they're like,
Fuck it.
they don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Now,
And when you're a teen, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck either.
Fuck you, Sheriff.
I'm not even doing my homework, Sheriff. Fuck you.
I'm eating dessert first.
Yeah.
I was really glad he caught her.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, thank God. I was like, please.
Well, he got her. That's
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Sorry.
Wydell tells her that she's not getting off that easy, and we finally get the text, a Rob Zombie film over Mother Firefly. Midnight Rider by the Allman Brothers Band begins to play as Baby and Otis run through the house on their way out. They pass a cage with cheerleaders inside who scream silently as the music is the only thing heard. They scream and reach for Baby and Otis, but Baby and Otis just keep running. Over one of the cheerleaders' screaming faces, we get the title card, The Devil's Rejects, and it freezes for a moment. This is the first instance of really, for me, I'll speak for myself, excellently placed music.
Yes.
That's the one. I have no complaints about the songs used, about where they're like he did that. Like,
no,
I
the
will give him
music's
that.
good.
Even the lyrics fit what's going on.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, the music, I will give that.
You can tell it's not just like, okay, 70s, whatever. Like, they're thoughtfully selected and used. Like, that's something I really, really appreciated about this film.
And there's a little bit of continuity here because the entire thing of the first film at the very beginning is that the Rugsville cheerleaders were missing.
Yeah.
And so we already know that the Fireflies like to kidnap squads of cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Right.
And so this isn't, obviously, this is like 7 months after that.
Yeah.
So this has to be a different squad. I don't think they've been feeding them.
Yeah.
Probably not. They're not taking care of them and the animals. I'll believe a lot, but I'm not fucking believing that.
No, they're giving him Agatha Crispies, was it?
Baby and Otis sneak out of a hidden hole in the basement of the house as Mother Firefly is arrested and forced into a car by Dobson. Baby and Otis kick open a sewer grate and they're free. Mother Firefly finally sits in the cop car and kicks at the window as Wydell lights a celebratory cigar in front of the house.
So as they make their way through the swamp, this is shot number 1 of Sherry Moon's ass.
Yeah.
Will not begrudge Rob Zombie for loving his wife.
I'm going to say 1 out of question mark because
Yes,
there's
there's
a lot.
quite a few.
There's too many to count.
And teenage Travis. Thanks you,
Of
Rob.
course. I love their love.
Yes.
The man fucking adores his wife, and I'm not going to fault him for it.
That is, I mean, kind of goals.
It's a modern love story.
Yeah, that's true. Some of her Instagram content as of late was a little questionable.
Of course, yeah.
So, I mean, they're not goals, exactly.
Baby and Otis wade through water, holding up their guns, and run across a field. Abby, played by Mary Warrenov, is driving down the road when she sees Baby lying in the middle of it. She gets out of her car and tries to help her, kneeling down next to her in the road while Otis sneaks up behind her. Baby seems to be whispering something to her, and when Abby lowers her head to try to listen, Baby grabs her and pulls her down. Otis comes up behind her and stabs her in the back. They get into Abby's car and drive away, leaving her bloodied and dead, laying in the same position that Baby was when Abby stopped for her.
I liked that, honestly.
Yeah, like the old switcheroo. That's right. That's how it's done.
Yeah, I think that's the only way it's done.
Yeah.
Anytime someone refers to the switcheroo, it's this.
Yes.
I will say on that 30 Days in Hell documentary, the filming of this was way different than what we see in the film.
Yeah.
Because they had dialogue and everything, and they were like like a lot of these scenes are the dialogue is muted for the music.
Thank you, Rob.
Which is well
I'm sorry.
it is the better choice because this scene plays out way better.
Yeah.
Because the way that they filmed it like 19 times, and sometimes Bill Moseley missed with the knife, and like, it was like a whole thing. But he's like, he stabs her, and he's like, "Die, motherfucker!" and all this stuff. And she's like, blood is like everywhere.
Yeah.
But this more subdued, silent opening works better.
Yeah.
I think.
I agree.
I think here's where I was like, my mind was like, I'm gonna be completely lost. Like, check out. I was like, man, I was struggling with this, man.
We're
eyes
like
rolled up
5
white.
minutes. He's just working it.
Yeah.
Nothing's even
doing a
happening.
puzzle.
No.
I'm like,
You have any threes?
yeah.
Are you playing Go Fish with Ari?
Midnight Rider fades out on written and directed by Rob Zombie, and then everything fades to black. We cut to grainy footage of Wydell ordering the officers to fan out and find Otis and Baby because they have to be close. A news reporter, played by John H. Tobin, says that this is turning out to be the most horrific crime scene since Jack the Ripper.
No.
I feel okay. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't think that is really a timely reference to make at all. I know it's 1978, so you can't say like Dahmer or
Right, because
Yeah.
that was after.
Yeah.
But come on, man.
And-
Like 70s was like heyday
Exactly.
for serial
Yeah,
killers.
yeah.
Like, I mean,
I know Gacy was actually caught a few months after this movie takes place, so they couldn't even use him.
Right.
But
right.
Ed Gein,
yeah.
Jack the Ripper?
Okay.
Sure.
And that wasn't like a mass. I know it had
No.
multiple victims, but it wasn't a mass
But there
grave
wasn't
situation.
Yeah.
6 canonical and they were all
Yes,
spread out?
Yes,
Yeah.
and
It
they were
wasn't-
found singularly. It's not a good comparison, folks. Let's just leave
Let's
it
just
at
say
that.
that.
But we get footage of the officers investigating the house as he narrates what was found inside. Human skulls used as ornaments, body parts in refrigerators, and a mass grave of decomposing bodies in the crawl space. This shit gives Gein.
Yes.
And Ed Gein, you know, he didn't have a lot of victims.
Mm-hmm.
He only really had the 2, unless you count his brother, but a lot of people are sketchy on that, whatever. But still using them as ornaments, and
Mm-hmm.
if body parts are in the refrigerator, I'm thinking
Right.
y'all are fucking eating them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Ed Gein is a more timely reference.
Yeah.
than-
I would say so. I was kind of taken aback by that, if I'm honest. And I love how the anchor goes, words can't describe it. Here are some words.
Let me describe it.
Oh, okay. I guess you can.
We see all of this, and the quality goes back to normal as Dobson finds a scrapbook of Captain Spaulding and calls Wydell over. Wydell recognizes him immediately as Captain fucking Spaulding. All right, guys. We cut to Captain Spaulding's house, where underneath a huge mural of a clown on his bedroom wall, Captain Spaulding, played by Sid Haig, is getting it in with Fanny, played by
Getting
Ginger
it
Lynn.
in.
Yeah.
You
No,
saw
this
this.
is- yeah.
That is
No,
the
yeah.
nicest way I
Yeah.
can describe what the fuck is going on right now.
I will say that it's funny. They said Captain fucking Spaulding, and then they cut to him earning his middle name.
Yeah.
Captain Spaulding, B-fucking.
Yes, he is. I did want to say, first of all, Sid Haig, rest in peace.
Yes.
Fantastic
Yeah.
actor. Brilliantly enough to play such a horrible character, and I still somehow like him.
Yeah.
Ginger Lynn, who is the actress who is helping him earn that middle name, she is actually both a mainstream actress and an adult entertainment actress.
Oh, nice.
Apparently very well regarded in the industry, but she had the day before or the day of told Rob Zombie that while doing I think she was doing some training at the gym, she tore her MCL and ACL.
Fuck.
And this is the day of filming, and so for this scene, they had to lift her up and off because she cannot do it
Jesus
herself.
Christ.
But she said that she said this performance is mostly hips, so it's fine.
I was literally about to say, but did you tear your hip though?
No, she's like,
That's
"It'll
all we need.
Don't even worry about it."
But after an extensive sex scene, and I mean this goes on for
Yeah.
to me a shockingly
Yes.
long
Yeah.
I could have lived my whole life without seeing that clown's balls.
Yeah.
But they said that the first assistant director, after everything they filmed, this was what he found the most unappealing and disgusting.
No, disgusting is the word.
It's forever.
Yeah.
But the two come to a misunderstanding when Captain Spaulding calls her a whore. She pulls out a gun, still on top of him, and points it at him, and he starts trying to walk it back, saying that he's a clown and clowns like to make jokes. She tells him to make her laugh then, since he's a clown, before pulling the trigger. The gunshot wakes Captain Spaulding from his nightmare, where he's not sleeping beside Fanny. He's sleeping next to Ruth, played by Juanita Guzman. She asks if he had a bad dream, and after looking her over, he says it was about 50-50, which is funny because her body is like larger than the woman in his dream. Like, it's funny, right?
Yeah.
It's 2005.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, fat phobia. We're
Yeah,
here.
where are we
Okay.
going?
Yeah.
I will say that it's very strange for me for Rob Zombie to be like, no, we're dropping these characters into a more realistic, more grounded kind of reality.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's do a dream fake out punchline.
Yes, yeah.
It's like,
What?
what are you talking
More
about?
human.
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
yeah.
Lest we forget.
I will say that the actress said that Poopy was only put in the script once, and so she made some choices that we will hear
Yeah.
in a moment.
Okay.
Because she calls him Poopy like 7 million times.
Yeah.
Well, you know, she loves him.
Why would
And
you
let me
call
just
your
say,
lover Poopy?
He's gross.
Well,
Yeah.
Poopy because there is a stain.
yeah, no, he's fucking disgusting.
There's perpetual stainage.
Yeah.
I don't.
He's earned it.
I feel like he's earned his nickname. And Ruth, you can do a lot better. Let me just say that.
Yeah, why? And he's acting like he's like he's like I'm a TV clown, motherfucker. Crusty energy, but he's really just
hold
crusty.
on.
It's actually crusty.
Krusty's got a limo.
Yes. Yeah, we love Krusty the Clown in this house.
Yeah.
Yes. But anyway, Ruth wants to have sex. Spalding doesn't want to, asking if she didn't get enough last night. She didn't, but he still pulls away from her to go pee, again showing off his nickname, his namesake underwear. But the sound of him peeing transitions to him pouring himself a cup of coffee with this clown makeup on.
I was like, you need to drink more water. Oh, okay.
It's like,
Sorry.
good God.
Everything's fine.
You know, I wouldn't even be surprised.
No. And he pisses black coffee.
Okay,
Like,
Rob.
you need to calm down.
The two of them watch excitedly on the TV as an ad featuring Captain Spaulding advertising his latest attraction, Mary the Monkey, who is half human and half monkey that he brought from Borneo. I will say that the monkey half is really the star.
Yeah.
In all fairness,
You know, whatever.
it makes me laugh every time whenever he's selling this attraction. He's like, from the wilds of Borneo.
Yeah.
It's like you didn't go there.
But just as he starts to advertise his Captain Spaulding for President t-shirts, breaking news cuts in.
Which were available at Hot Topic. I'm surprised I didn't buy one.
Yes, same. Spaulding is enraged at the money he spent on the commercial just for it to be interrupted, but the footage cuts to Wydell being interviewed in front of the Firefly home. Spaulding starts to gape at the footage, but the phone rings and he goes to answer it. It's Baby telling her father, Captain Spaulding, that he needs to get out of the house because they got raided and they're going to be coming for him next.
I do like the fact that he is her father.
Yeah.
Because it brings him closer to the Firefly family.
Yeah.
In the first film, he was kind of tangentially just like sending people there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And so this actually brings it
It
to
makes
where...
more sense.
Yeah. And it makes it to where the three of them actually going on the run potentially works.
Right.
Yeah, instead of being like, my name's Paul, the shit's between y'all. It's
Yeah.
like, no, that's my daughter. Is Otis his son?
Otis is not his son. Canonically, I don't think Otis is related to any of them.
I don't think Otis has a father.
Yeah.
I think Otis
He
grew
was-
from a seed.
Well, he was spat out from hell.
So he's not Mother Firefly's son either?
From what I remember reading, somebody had put, it might have even been on some forum, but it is like the canonical whatever. A lot of people are saying that Otis joined the family later on and was made a Firefly. I think that it would make a lot more sense if Otis was Mother Firefly's son, but just another person's.
Yeah, I always thought that
So I think
he and
that-
Baby were brother and sister.
Yeah,
like
that's
they
what I
referred
thought.
to each other as such.
That's what but it might be like the Manson family where they're family,
Right,
but they're not all related.
Yeah.
I personally, in my head, Mother Firefly is his mother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I always thought.
And I keep saying flyer fly. I don't know what's
Because
going
it's
on.
hard to say.
It is hard to say. My stupid mouth is like getting in the way. But I do also want to point out, like I did on House of a Thousand Corpses, if we're talking canonical, in the Rob Zombie song, Pussy Licker, they're stating that Earl is Baby's father. So that's a change.
Wow, maybe they went to court and he was like, no, that's my daughter and I love her and I'm taking
No,
her.
Maury's like, you
Maury,
are not.
Or that.
And then Mother Firefly runs off the stage.
She's crying.
And
If
Earl-
anybody can figure it out, it's Maury.
Earl does a backflip. goes viral.
This family tree, I'm just, I think I'm getting confused. But Spaulding tells her to calm down and to meet him at the Kahiki Palms Motel, just like they always plan to. Baby tells him to go now, hangs up the payphone, and gets in the passenger seat of Annie's stolen car that Otis is driving.
So I want to commend the location scouting of this movie, which isn't something you really talk about a lot, but when you're working lower budget, it's very important.
Right.
Basically, everything around this area is within like several yards of each other.
Oh,
wow.
nice.
Like you see that billboard whenever baby's on the phone. The billboard was put there because it's blocking the set of the Kahiki Palms motel.
That's great.
And then just down the street is the abandoned house that they found to use for Spalding's house.
Nice.
And stuff like that. So it's nuts. And a lot of the production design really helps because it changes a lot of these locations into something that more fits the film.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I want to call it the production designer, who is a guy called Anton Tremblay, and he was actually the production designer on Army of Darkness.
Nice.
Hey.
Hell yeah.
Do you like this movie now?
No.
Okay. I thought that would help.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit.
Just
yeah,
tiny bit.
Little notch, an eighth of a point.
Yeah. Okay, so we just need 8 more.
But back at his house, Spalding gets a gun, prompting Ruth to ask what he needs it for and where they're going. Spalding tells her that she's not going anywhere and pushes past her to leave the house. On the TV, looking directly into the camera, Wydell says that he's got a message for them. He's coming to get them and they can't run forever. When they stop, he'll be there to put the wrath of the Lord up their ass. The reporter's like, hey.
Yeah, whoa. It's a family show.
Spalding gets into his truck, ignoring Ruth, who follows him, even mushing her face through the window before driving off.
Just cruel.
Yeah, I was like, what the? I just can't. Back on the news reporter says that they're going to show the mugshots of the criminals that fled the raid. He holds up mugshots of Baby and Otis, and this is when I texted T that I had a recovered memory of owning this.
Yes.
I'm working out now.
You're like 16 looking at your wall.
You guys, you're right there.
I will say that were the mugshots taken this morning? Or? Because they're clearly they're very recent.
Yes.
That's a really hilarious point. But we cut to Charlie's Frontier Fun Town, a brothel where Bubba, played by Kelvin Brown, stands outside with a gun. Inside, Charlie Altamont, played by Ken Foree.
I can't believe this.
Yeah.
I mean, he's amazing.
Yes.
I feel like we have already covered how fucking great he is.
Dawn of the Dead.
Yes.
We were gushing about this dude.
But he counts money and looks disappointed. Annoyed, he calls down Candy, played by Elizabeth Daily. Cleavon, played by Michael Berryman, vacuums the floor until Charlie tells him to stop when Candy comes down.
So you've got Dawn of the Dead and The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah.
Right.
The 2 very iconic 70s
and,
horror
and
films.
there's more coming.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, how'd you do this?
Yeah.
Like,
It's just incredible.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth Daily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's Dottie from
Yes.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah. You know, she's also...
Is that another eighth of a point?
Hey, there you go.
I'll give you another eight for that. Yeah.
Hey, very good. I was surprised to learn she's also Tommy Pickles on Rugrats.
Oh, nice. That's right. Yeah.
I can
kind
like
of
hear
hear
it.
it.
Yeah.
I did hear on commentary that Rob Zombie said that the actress that was originally supposed to play Candy dropped out the day before shooting
Oh, wow.
and was replaced by Elizabeth Daily, and the actress was Natasha Lyonne.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see that.
Wow.
I love her so much.
Yeah, her voice, I want her voice to be my Siri. I've said this plenty of times. But no, I think they are still friends, though, because I did see a tweet from 2017 where she went and had dinner with Rob Zombie, so it's not like anything bad.
I was going to say, do you know why?
I don't. I assumed it was probably either scheduling or something,
Yeah.
but it sucks a day before.
Yeah.
You were right there. You could have done it. It was so close.
But when Charlie asks her about the money, Candy explains that it's just a slow night. The farmers here only want a hand job for $10. And Charlie rolls his eyes as she dramatically reenacts their orgasms. And I do mean dramatically reenacts.
He's like, come, I mean, this is.
We're talking about money. This is a
Yeah,
business discussion.
Are you done?
But she says afterwards they get back on their tractors and save the actual sex for their sheep. I'm like, God damn, Candy. But Charlie says that they just need to figure out a way to attract more people, maybe coming up with a new angle to get bigger clientele. Candy says that she's already thought of that and proposes using something like Star Wars because all losers want to fuck Princess Leia. All right. Thank you, Candy. Cleavon admits that he does, and she's like, thank you. And that did make me laugh.
There's some comedy that works.
Yeah.
But Charlie, this also made me laugh, worries that space will bring out sick bitches wanting to pretend that they're robots. And the last thing that he needs is horny robots running around.
I just imagine just like beep boop.
Yeah.
He's like, God damn it.
I don't know, guys.
This is a bad idea.
But when Cleavon tries to say that they're called droids, Charlie doesn't care. It's still risky.
Again, very like the pop culture, like
Yeah.
postmodern Clerks and
Yeah.
Tarantino.
Right.
Even
Yeah.
I say Clerks because it's Star Wars,
Yeah.
but it's very reminiscent.
But the phone rings and it's Captain Spaulding identifying himself as Cutter. And he's called this a few times in the film. And
I want more on that.
we get no explanation.
Nah.
But he tells Charlie that he's in trouble and he needs a place to hide out. So he's coming. Charlie immediately tells him that coming here is not a good idea, but Spaulding doesn't leave any room for conversation. He insists that he's coming, drops the receiver for the payphone, and walks back to his truck.
So I do like that him and Charlie have history.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Rob Zombie said on commentary that they either were friends in real life
Right.
or they became friends in real life because of this. But they have what we learn later is quite great chemistry.
Yeah, their chemistry's great.
So it's good to see them working together. I will say that there is the scene transition after this.
Yeah, I was about to talk about the Star Wipe.
All right.
But Charlie is upset, and we freeze frame on him and Star Wipe to Otis and Baby arriving at the Kahiki Palms Motel.
Now, that was, in all fairness, Star Wars pulled some shit like that. Maybe.
It was an homage.
Exactly,
Yeah.
like we were just talking about it.
All right.
Whatever.
I did want to say again, the Charlie's Frontier Fun Town
Right.
Yes.
was an abandoned Western town that they repurposed.
Oh, wow. What
That's really
luck.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really cool.
They just found it.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Kahiki Palms Motel has been used in a ton of things, and it's just redesigned to whatever they need.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
It's only exterior, which is really amazing for what we see later.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that in a minute.
All right.
But they pull up to the motel, and Baby is angry because she says that she doesn't see Spaulding anywhere. Outside of their room, Gloria Sullivan, played by Priscilla Barnes, says that she doesn't find it funny anymore, but Wendy Banjo, played by Kate Norby, says that she very much does. Gloria's husband, Roy Sullivan, played by Jeffrey Lewis, Juliette Lewis's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Says that he told her so. Riding a mechanical bull isn't as easy as it looks. Jimmy, played by Brian Posehn,
Sure.
chimes in that technically Gloria had a good ride until tragedy struck. But Adam Banjo, played by Lou Temple, has the wisdom in all of this. Tube tops are just not proper attire for bull riding. They start laughing at her all over again. Wendy saying that when her boobs popped out, she was going to pee herself. Gloria mocks her, saying that she's just jealous because she doesn't have any boobs. She's like, you don't have any titties. I was like, ma'am.
What is going on?
Yeah. What the
Adam tells her not to be mean, and he kisses Wendy. Jimmy says that she probably made them some fans that night, and Gloria just tells him to shut up.
So whenever this is going on, I first of all, I was very surprised that Roy didn't defend his wife.
No.
Yeah.
They're like, your titties were stupid. And he's just like, yeah, one was
He's
going
like,
this
yeah.
way and one was going that way. I was like, dude, can you defend your wife,
Yeah, you
please?
try keeping your titties straight on a mechanical
Yeah.
bull.
With a tube top.
Can't do it.
No. I dare you.
But Roy says that he told Johnny Cash. Did he ever tell y'all that he shook hands with Johnny Cash once? It's like that had nothing to do with
Yeah.
anything.
Not at all. But again, wouldn't you tell
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
all the time?
Gloria asks him to go get ice because she needs a drink. And Roy says that he will if she promises to give them an encore tomorrow. And she's like, you wish. Back in the car, they listen to the radio who identifies the ringleader as local celebrity Captain Spaulding. I didn't realize that he was their ringleader.
Yeah, I
I
wouldn't
kind of
call
thought
it that.
Mother Firefly or Otis is what I would think. But
he's not Father Firefly.
Yeah.
right.
He doesn't even have the family's name.
No.
But he's the leader. Okay.
Okay. But they start to name his accomplices, starting with Otis Driftwood. And Otis rages, his yells drowning out the rest of the broadcast. Baby tells him to calm down and that she'll get them a room as she gets out of the car. Otis tells her to hurry the fuck up, and she says fuck you, and he says fuck you, and then she slams the door.
Again, this is their dynamic.
Oh, right. We we have already established. We already okay.
JP's just
His eyes are all white. Come back. Are you playing goldfish alone?
Yeah.
goldfish. We're eating goldfish.
Yes. No.
As Baby walks to the office of the motel, the radio continues that most of their victims were drugged, kidnapped, and sexually assaulted. Otis continues to be angry in the car. On their way to get ice, Jimmy expresses his desire to Roy to be a rodeo clown, and Roy just laughs at him. He tells Jimmy that he wouldn't last a minute without the bull impaling him, and Jimmy's like, I knew you would say that. He says he's never supportive about anything that he wants to do. And Roy asks what he wants from him, and Jimmy says that Adam told him that he'd be good at it because he's good with animals. Dogs love him, and isn't a horse just a big dog?
I mean, I've been consulted a biologist on this, but I did laugh because Roy says, the bull will go like put his horn up your ass and stick out your pecker or whatever.
Yeah.
And Jimmy goes, that's exactly what I thought you would say.
Yeah.
I was like, that's exactly.
Yeah, that's what.
Word for word.
Roy always finds a way to pepper that in.
Yeah, that's his favorite thing. That and Johnny Cash.
You always say
Yeah,
that.
God damn it. It's always about bulls and horns.
But Roy tells him flat out that he is not clown material, and Jimmy says he's just going to walk to the gas station. It's actually like sad. I felt bad for him.
Honestly, it's kind of setting up an arc for Spalding to have a protege.
Yeah, that's true. But
no.
No. But Roy tells him to get him some beef jerky after he just crushed his dreams.
Yeah.
But as he walks off, Jimmy says that he could have been on that pit crew in North Carolina. No, I was like, was this a reference to something? And then I forgot to look up if it could have been a reference to something.
Okay, so let me explain, because what I thought was going on was he was trying to get sympathy from Roy in this moment, because what I assumed was there was some accident.
Yeah, that's how he made it sound.
On a pit crew in North Carolina where he's like, I could have been there.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, I'm glad you're here, etc.
Yeah.
Not at all the case. I looked up fucking NASCAR accidents. I looked up all kinds of things. There's no anything. And then on commentary, Rob Zombie said that this was ad-libbed by Brian Posehn, and Rob Zombie thought it was funny because his dream to be a rodeo clown, you have to be small and able to get around very quickly and easily.
Yeah.
He said Brian Posehn moves at his own pace.
Yeah.
He said the same with the pit crew. You need to be lightning fast. Brian Posehn moves at his own
okay.
pace.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm going to need this explained to me.
Yeah, it is funny, but it's the kind of funny that somebody has to tell you why it's
Exactly.
funny. Which kind of means that it's not, but okay.
Which made me feel like I wasn't funny.
Yeah.
But I will say that they also said that Roy's stuff about Johnny Cash was also ad-libbed. So there's a lot of leeway.
That is funny though.
Yeah.
To me.
That is.
Yeah.
Because everybody
It's
knows.
clear.
It's like, that's funny.
And as the story changes, it gets funnier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm like, pit crew in North Carolina.
Yeah, I was like, that has to be a reference to something,
Yeah.
and then I just totally forgot.
Not at all. Not at all.
But alone now, Roy starts to scoop ice into the ice bucket, and Baby comes around the corner meowing, but stops when she sees Roy and asks if he's got a light for the cigarette she's holding. I guess she's pretending to look for a cat.
Maybe, and that was supposed to be the cat off in the distance. I will say that the shot from the ice machine is very reminiscent of Tarantino's trademark trunk shot.
Yeah.
But interesting.
But what do we know?
Yeah.
But Roy says that he doesn't smoke because his doctor says he's got the lungs of a pro athlete, which to me was just a hilarious thing to say.
It's like, please don't start.
Yeah, I was like, what?
These
I'm
lungs.
begging you. This is the greatest lungs I've ever seen.
Never seen lungs like this, man. Roy, look at me. Don't smoke.
But smiling, Baby says that she understands. He wants to live forever. She asks if he's vacationing alone, and he's like, yes. I'm here with my band. He says his band is Banjo and Sullivan and that he does the lead singing. He used to sing with Johnny Cash. He even shook his hand once.
So he sang with him now.
Yeah.
It's like, Job, this is a $10,000.
Yeah, exactly. Soon he is going, I am Johnny Cash.
But Baby says that she just loves famous people because they're so much better than the real thing. And Roy agrees. He steps closer to her and she says that she bets all the girls want to fuck him. he's in disbelief and is like, say that again.
Yeah, what the
Dude.
fuck?
It makes me laugh every time because it's like he's trying to be like, oh no, I didn't. Could you say that?
Just one more time. One more time for Roy.
Yeah, for Roy. Right for your old pal, Roy. You heard what the fuck she said.
You did. And again, this exchange was improv.
It is hilarious to me.
It's great.
But she does say it again, and the two laugh, and he asks if she kisses her mama with that mouth. She assures him that that ain't the only thing she does with this mouth, and he's like, oh don't
no.
tell me that.
Yeah.
Say it again. What the fuck? He can't help himself.
No, he can't.
But she does say it again, and they continue to laugh together. But we cut to the motel room where the Morris Green show plays on the TV. Morris Green, played by Daniel Roebuck, interviews Dr. Bankhead, played by Dwayne Whitaker.
You recognize Dwayne Whitaker as Maynard from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
I was very surprised.
I recognize Daniel Roebuck, too. And
Yes.
this is so, like, such a tiny little piece.
From what I understand, they filmed a full episode of this show.
Of course they did.
And I guess they just used like very minimal parts of it.
Yeah.
But Daniel Roebuck became like a zombie mainstay.
Right.
He's the new I never watched the Munsters. He's the Papa Munster or whatever.
Not Papa Munster.
What's Old Man Munster?
Herman.
No, Herman is someone else.
It's Daddy
Oh.
Munster.
Is it really?
To you? No, just
Oh,
kidding.
God damn it.
Oh,
You're not helping
Grandpa.
me.
Are you talking about
Munster.
Grandpa Munster?
You're telling me it's not Old Man Munster? It's not his name? But yeah, he's Grandpa Munster in the Munsters. I also saw he did an interview with Mary Beth McAndrews of Dread Central.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he has a very, very amazing collection of horror memorabilia.
Oh, nice.
That's badass. That is really cool.
It looks like a little museum.
Oh, nice.
But I was surprised to see both of them here. There is in that like full episode interview a discussion of Dr. Satan.
Really?
I would have liked, I'm not saying that we need Dr. Satan because
Yeah.
I don't really feel like we even needed him in the first one. But I feel like that would have been a kind of cool little Easter egg, even if it's just playing in the background.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Because I feel like this film was like, no, that didn't happen.
Not at all.
I was there.
Yeah.
I saw it.
That was Denise's fever dream.
Exactly.
There is something that we'll talk about in just a little bit with Dr. Satan that I think is very interesting, and I honestly think Rob Zombie made the right decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll
Did you
talk.
hear that, Brittany?
Right.
Yeah.
But Morris Green asks the doctor what he thinks about the symbols that groups leave behind at crime scenes, inverted pentagrams, the number 666, and the like. Before he can answer, though, we cut to Wendy in the shower. Back in the room, Gloria is watching the TV where Dr. Bankhead explains that the cultists aren't able to attack God directly. Adam comes in drinking a beer and she asks him to change the channel to something else because she can't stand watching this anymore. He's like, do I look like Roy to you? I'm like, you're standing right by the
It's not that hard.
He's like, you were making fun of my wife's titties.
Yeah. There was some titties stuff going around. Everybody got criticized. Like, let's not
Change the damn channel.
Yeah,
okay?
don't be so sensitive.
We broke even. But back at the ice machine, Roy introduces himself and Baby asks if he'll take her back to his room to play with her. When he starts to explain that his wife, he's like, well, my wife's in that room.
Yeah, what the fuck?
It's fucking trash. But she asks if he's going to do that or if her brother is going to have to shoot his teeth out of his head. Just then, Otis grabs Roy from behind, holds a gun to his head, and marches him back to the motel room. Baby trails behind them, lighting her own cigarette. In the room, Gloria says that it scares her that there are satanic cults running around, but Adam doesn't believe any of it. He says that people like Morris Green exaggerate things to drive up ratings. Gloria counters this with the very real situation that just happened in Rugsville, but Adam says that Rugsville can kiss his ass.
Why?
All right.
Why are we
So, okay, Adam?
They're our crosstown rival.
Ruin Rugsville.
Those are the signs there.
But she asks him to just please change the channel, and he's like, I don't know how Roy puts up with your shit.
That's where I was
Yeah,
like-
what the fuck?
like, calm down.
I don't know why y'all are being so harsh on Gloria.
Literally, hey, can you change the channel? How the fuck does Roy do it?
How are you married? Like, what?
She was very polite.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
But But he finally does change the channel, and Gloria asks what's taking Roy so long anyway. Just then, Roy bursts through the door with Baby and Otis behind him, Baby holding a gun of her own now. They're frenzied, forcing everyone onto the bed. Baby notices the jacket of one of the performers on TV and points it out to Otis, who tells her, fuck the TV. She replies with, fuck you, and points her gun at him, but he tells her to focus on what they're doing.
Everybody looks around like, these are really going to be? This is
We're
who's
being held
holding us?
captive by them?
I looked around the room as well.
Wendy continues to shower in the next room, and Otis asks who's in there. Adam says that it's his wife and tries to rush Otis, but Otis forces him back onto the bed, asking just what he's going to do. He kicks the bathroom door down and grabs Wendy out of the shower. He holds her at gunpoint in front of the group, asking if this is everyone. They say yes, but there's immediately a knock at the door. It's Jimmy announcing that he got Roy some beef jerky.
But Roy is like, oh, that's right. That's Jimmy. He's our roadie.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you talking like that?
No.
Like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to anyone.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's right. I'm sorry. We met Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's a funny story.
We don't
Yeah,
count him as a person, you know?
He was supposed to be on that pit crew in North Carolina.
But yeah, Otis asks who it is, and Roy explains that it's their roadie Jimmy. He says that he just forgot all about him. Otis throws Wendy onto the bed and points his gun at Roy, saying that he knows that he can't trust him now. It's like, damn it, man.
Yeah.
Baby says that she'll take care of it, and she answers the door. Jimmy, and this is another moment. The music is crazy when they're in the room. It's like, like it's very frantic and stuff. She opens the door to talk to Jimmy, and it completely stops.
Yeah.
And I like that. Like, there are little choices that are made that I do appreciate, and I feel like as subtle as they are, they make a big impact.
Right.
This is one of them that I really did enjoy.
There is one thing I do have to call out because, as I said, the exteriors were all shot on that location.
Yeah.
Right.
The interiors of the hotel room were all shot on a set weeks later.
Oh, wow. It looks,
Yes.
you can't
It's
tell.
seamless.
You cannot
Yeah.
tell at all. And so I was like, okay, first of all, great editing.
Yeah.
Second of all, when you look at it, the cinematography is really good because the lighting of the sun coming in through the window, there's no sun.
Yeah.
That's all lighting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's
Fooled
impressive.
me,
Yeah.
And you got to say, great direction from Rob Zombie to be able to match that level.
Right.
Yeah, to take us back to that point.
Exactly.
You know, I mean...
So, I mean, you have to call it like you see
Yeah.
it. I will say the cinematographer was a guy called I'm not sure the pronunciation. If he's French, it's Phil Parmet. If he's American, it's Phil Parmet, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate some of his work with the lighting and everything. But I am very 50-50 because goddamn the handheld shaky cam,
Yeah.
it is like 99% of the film.
Yep.
It is.
And I don't know if they were available. It looked like on their IMDb, they just did a bunch of music videos this year, maybe one film.
Yeah.
Is Daniel Pearl, the cinematographer of both the original and the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I would be very interested to see what he could have done with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that, I feel like, is the tone he was going for.
Right.
It-
right.
it
They were trying.
Clearly
to go.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what could have been?
Yeah.
But Jimmy is taken aback by her, saying that he must have come to the wrong room. Baby reassures him that it's the right room and that Roy is right inside. He's like, is Roy in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She pulls him in, and Otis jumps up immediately, telling him to get on his knees. This is when the music just starts back up when she pulls him inside. I really appreciated that.
Mm-hmm.
But Jimmy literally has time to say, Roy, help. With that inflection. Before Otis shoots him in the head, spraying Roy and Gloria behind him with blood and brains. Roy, help.
Yes.
That's a direct quote.
Now,
No, yeah. That the same energy
Yes.
and everything. Yeah.
the difficulty is on that 30 Days in Hell.
Yeah.
I saw different takes of this.
Okay.
And there was one take where he was literally like, Roy, help, please. And then he gets shot in the head.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, why did you use that take?
Roy, help.
It's like, was that take 30? And Brian Foster's
He's tired.
He's like, how many times am I going to get shot in the fucking head? But I was like, why didn't you use?
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever. You know,
Yeah,
this is what we got.
I
But Adam, acting as my surrogate in the film, promptly throws up. They all scream, and Baby yells at them to shut up. On the road, Captain Spaulding runs out of gas. He's listening to the radio where they report the corpses in varying states of decomposition found at the Firefly house. They say that the site is being treated like a mass homicide. As it should?
Is, yeah. They're treating it like a burglary? Like they stole these bodies? Like, why? That's weird.
Okay.
Report that.
Yeah, no shit.
But from his stalled truck, Spaulding watches as Susan, played by PJ Souls.
Yes, dude. So happy to see her.
Yes. Hurries her son, Jamie, played by Jordan Orr, from the gas station to their car, saying that if she's late one more time, she's going to get fired. She says, he's going to can my ass.
Yeah. It made me laugh. I was, first of all, I have to say, I was totally happy to see her here.
Yeah.
I did see in that doc that she auditioned for the role of Gloria.
All right.
Oh.
And very interestingly, they told her that she was too young for the part, even though she's 4 years older than Priscilla Barnes. And the role of the mother was written for a 34-year-old woman. PJ Souls was 55 at the time.
What the fuck?
I don't understand what
So it
they're
wasn't
doing.
because she was too...
No.
I don't
Okay,
know.
whatever.
But I'm glad to see her here. She was excited to be here.
Yeah.
And I do have to say, Priscilla Barnes, who interestingly replaced the actress who replaced Suzanne Summers in Three's Company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a little tidbit of fun fact, but she is great in this
She's
film.
fantastic in it.
And there's
Yeah.
one scene that is so awful,
It's right around the
Yeah.
corner.
and it's so awful, I think, because she's so good.
Yeah. Spaulding smiles at the opportunity and gets out of his truck. He approaches them and Jamie sees him first. When he tells his mom that there's a clown, she's like, yeah, until Spaulding taps her on the shoulder and she turns around and sees him. With a smile, he tells her that he's going to have to be taking her car. He's got some top secret clown business that supersedes any plans that she might have for it. Susan laughs, asking, what's that about clown business? And the smile immediately drops from Spaulding's face, and he asks her, did I stutter, bitch? Susan immediately tells her son to get in the car and lock his door. I'm like, you could have held up the act a little bit longer.
Yeah,
Like,
no
she's being
shit.
friendly.
Yeah.
She's laughing at what you're saying. Like, you don't have to, but whatever.
It's like I'm part of the clown FBI.
Yeah.
I need the... And honestly, in all fairness, what could he have said where she's like, oh yeah, take my keys?
No, but I mean, I guess I just like a good ruse. I feel like he gave it up really
No,
fast.
there's another clown stealing the car as he's
Yeah.
Yes,
talking to her.
exactly. No, there's like 12 clowns because they can our 12 in there. But once Jamie gets in the car, Susan walks around to the driver's side and Spaulding follows her, warning never to turn her back on a clown when he's talking to you, which is a really specific rule.
Will this come
To
up
live your
again? Or?
Not don't turn her back on a clown, but when he's talking to you specifically.
Only then.
He turns her around before she can get back into the car and she yells at him to get his hands off of her. In response, he punches her in the face and gets behind the wheel. Jamie stares back at him in the passenger seat, crying. Spaulding asks, what's the matter? Don't you like clowns? Jamie understandably shakes his head.
No, dude,
And
no.
Spaulding asks, don't we make you laugh? Aren't we fucking funny? He tells Jamie to think about it because he'll be back to check on him and his mother. And if he doesn't have a good reason why he hates clowns, he's going to kill him and his entire family.
Now, he's given him a great reason.
A
Here
clown
today.
carjacked me and my mom one
Yeah.
time. But he yells at him to get out of the car and laughs when Jamie does. He pulls away, leaving Susan knocked out in the parking lot. It's funny because Jamie gets out of the car and then we get like a wider shot of Spaulding driving away and
Yeah.
Jamie is gone.
Yeah.
Like Susan's still laying on the ground and Jamie has like
There was
left
no
the chat.
checking on his
No.
mother.
No.
Or it's like GTA carjacking with
Yeah. Fuck this.
run into the street.
But back at Kahiki Palms, Jimmy is propped up on the couch and the other four are still confined to the bed. Jimmy is dead. I want to make that clear.
yes.
Otis sits in a chair next to them while Baby does a racist rhyme and a seductive dance for them. Over and over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it either.
No. Adam has his head on Wendy's lap, muttering to himself. Wendy is now thankfully wearing an overshirt because she was pulled out of the shower completely naked. Otis asks Roy, who sits in front of Baby with Gloria, if he's looking at his sister and thinking bad thoughts. And I think Roy was, because he quickly looks away and he's like, no.
No, I wasn't. Well, what's ridiculous to me is that after everything that you've seen them do, you're still like, well, she did say a lot of girls.
Yeah, right. She said it again.
Might want to
She said it again. She made me feel really good about myself.
Not every woman will do that for you. Like Roy, everybody's like, why is everyone so like asshole, like irredeemable?
No, it's horrible.
Even Roy.
Yeah. But using homophobic slurs, which I have to address.
Yes.
Because I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Otis says that baby is a hot piece of ass. How is Roy not looking at her and getting any ideas? I'm like, that's your sister? Well,
Yeah.
my understanding that.
No,
Yeah.
see, that was my understanding too. I was struggling. I was like, what the fuck is how? My mind was melting watching this.
For me, everything gets better when we leave the motel, but we are still
All right.
here.
What they had said, Rob Zombie said that the whole point of this thing is like playing mind games with them. So it's almost, I guess it's like that old no listening. Do you hear me?
Right.
You're
Yeah.
like,
But this is
But I
more than
think
mind games.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But I think that's the thing that bothers me is that this goes far, especially what happens next.
Yes.
Yeah.
This goes far beyond what, I mean, is anywhere for me to say, no, I'm still rooting for them. No, I'm not.
Yeah, no, Jigsaw played mind games.
Yes.
That's mind
Yes.
games. That's
Yes.
That's
Yes.
different.
Yeah,
There was
that's
no
something else.
Exactly.
cassette or anything.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Right. If there was, then I missed it.
Yes.
But Roy says that he's a married man, and Otis and Baby laugh and mockingly applaud him. Baby wraps up her dance, and Otis, still holding the gun, tells Gloria to get to her feet. When Adam tries to ask him to stop, and again, Adam, not Roy,
Again,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Otis says that the next words out of his mouth better be some brilliant Mark Twain shit because it's getting chiseled on his tombstone. Adam shuts up.
Like, yeah.
And Otis turns his attention to Gloria again, telling her to stand and take her clothes off or he's going to kill somebody else. Gloria follows instructions, stripping down to her underwear as the group watches. Baby pushes and taunts Wendy as Otis gropes Gloria, forces her to kiss him, and then finally sexually assaults her in front of the group at gunpoint.
Again, irredeemable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's I feel like that's my issue is like we're rooting for them to get away after this. Like
Yeah.
even before, like all the shit that they did before
Yeah.
is, it's bad enough. But we were here for this. We
Yeah,
watched this
yeah.
happen.
When you look at, movies like Natural Born Killers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? You think of Mickey and Mallory. They did a lot of awful shit.
Right.
Yeah.
But there was still a level of, I guess, relatability
Right.
to where we could be like, you know what? Maybe I do kind of want them to get away still.
Like
Yeah.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Yes.
Yeah, technically they're bad, but you know
But-
what? I kind of hope they get away kind of.
yeah, this is straight up like villainous evil shit.
Evil. Yeah.
And it's very difficult. And that's what I don't understand as a child. Maybe because we had the holdover from us enjoying House of a Thousand Corpses.
Right.
I was still like, man, I like Otis and Baby and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted them to get away.
yeah,
and
but
it's like,
here it's like, okay, these are innocent people. And then later on with Wydell, you're like, well, Wydell is just trying to do his job.
literally.
Yeah, and
trying to avenge his brother.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
yeah.
now I will say straight up, if they would have come into this hotel room and just murked all four of them, I'd still be rooting for them.
It wouldn't even,
Right.
yeah. And I did read that Bill Moseley had a really hard time doing this.
Yeah.
And at one point had asked Rob Zombie, like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he said that Rob Zombie's response was, art is not safe.
Art isn't safe, but this is very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He said that he was very disgusted. It was hard for him to even, and he said that he had a lot of fun playing Otis.
Mm-hmm.
He even stayed in character when he wasn't supposed to be in character because like
Well,
he had,
that's hard to get out of.
Yeah.
he had fun playing him, but this was extremely difficult for him. He had to take breaks. He was sick to his stomach.
Yeah.
And that Priscilla Barnes, he said when he read it, he was like, okay, I'm going to be like, basically as kind as he can and as understanding as he can with her,
Yeah.
but that she was having to coach him through it because he had such a hard time doing
Well,
this.
Well, the thing is, and Rob Zombie said on commentary that it was her performance that made everyone so uncomfortable.
Yes,
Yeah.
Because she is the thing is that she is such a good actress in this thing that it's making it even harder to watch.
Yeah.
And they said that Sherry Moon was even like uncomfortable doing this.
Well,
And
yeah.
just simply being in the room. And Brian Posehn, he came back on set to play his own corpse, which he really didn't have to do.
No.
And he said that it was like so uncomfortable because he's just sitting there with his eyes closed, listening to all this.
Yeah.
It was a very bad day on set.
I just feel like if I'm Rob Zombie and Bill Moseley is like, do we really need to do this? I would maybe rethink it.
Yeah,
but,
no
you know,
shit.
whatever.
Because it's going beyond. It's like, he's like, can I just skin one of them and wear the...
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Pistol
literally,
whip somebody.
Yeah.
You don't gotta...
beat somebody up. Like, start cutting fingers off. Shoot somebody in the leg. I mean, I feel like this is a whole new layer of like, holy shit, because we're having to participate in it. Like, we're watching it happen.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, and I'm not, easy to rattle, I would say.
Yeah.
But this, I was like, God damn. Like, it's
and
rough.
I don't know how long this sequence is, but it feels like twice the length.
Yeah.
I did read that because they kept saying that this would be rated NC-17.
Okay.
And he kept having to make cuts because he said that they had a problem with the overall tone, not necessarily specific points. But that this was a specific point that they had problems with, and that 2 minutes was cut out.
Was cut out?
Was cut 2 minutes. Was cut out.
Wow.
To achieve an R rating. So I'm like,
I don't want to know what's there.
Yeah, you didn't need to. It didn't need to do that at all.
We don't need to spend any more time on this than we already have.
No.
So Otis eventually throws Gloria back onto the bed, telling her that she makes him sick. Baby giggles, jumping on the bed and spanking Gloria, saying that they're all really getting to know each other now. Otis says that he has an errand to run with Roy and Adam and that they'll be back soon. And that's another thing. Roy, while all this was happening, he's like hiding his face behind his hat.
Yeah.
I'm like,
why shouldn't he have Adam's energy?
Yeah.
I'm saying, I don't know, whatever.
He was praying for Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
Remember the handshake? Come for me, please.
The man in black just crashes through the window.
But they leave the women behind. Wendy cradles Gloria and tries to comfort her as Baby continues to harass Wendy, blowing her hair. It's funny because they have her like poking her and blowing her hair, and it's like no, keep doing it, because I feel like Otis is on a fucking 20 out of 10 over here, and she has to be doing something in the background, but it's very childish. Like she's literally poking her and like, nah, I don't know. It was I don't know.
And it's funny to me because in House of a Thousand Corpses, she was very childlike.
Right.
And in this, she's not. But then in these moments, she is.
Yeah.
And that's something I kind of wanted to talk about, because I will say I did appreciate bringing Baby down a little.
Yes.
Because we all talked about the laugh. The laugh was a whole lot. The character was a whole lot. The baby voice was a whole lot. I did appreciate him trying to make her a more real person. Rather than a cartoon. But, and that's the thing, is this movie being what it is, there are performances that are great.
Yes.
In this.
Yeah.
She's not up to that level. I'll just say that.
No.
And so when she does have extended periods when she's talking or when she's reacting to something, it does take you out of it, because it's like Bill Moseley is putting his whole fucking ass into this.
He is.
And she's just like, it just feels like you're reading a script. Like, that's what it feels like.
That's fair.
But, okay, moving on. We cut to a news report where Anchorman, played by Glenn Toronto, says that the group in Rugsville is being referred to as the Devil's Rejects. We see footage of Dobson taking Mother Firefly out of the house as the Anchorman identifies her and says that she was taken into custody after a gunfight that left 4 officers dead and 7 wounded. At the Rugsville Sheriff's Department, Wydell comes to interrogate Mother Firefly in I don't know if I should call it a cell or a cage.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, because that door didn't even fill the whole fucking doorway.
No.
It was like, what the fuck?
It looked like a basement where they like keep things.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're like, clear it out. We're gonna do an interrogation.
That's exactly what it looked like. Wydell introduces himself by name, and Mother Firefly seems to contemplate his name as he rattles off hers and her aliases. So I guess her real name is Gloria Teasdale.
Interesting.
And her aliases are Eve Wilson, Southern Betty Woods, Betsy Woods, and of course, Mother Firefly. She congratulates him on his ability to read, and he names off her record: 4 counts of grand theft auto, 5 of armed robbery, and 17 counts of solicitation. He says that the farm boys must love her, and she says that everyone loves her, including him. Wydell instructs Dobson, who's covered in blood, to set down a huge stack of books that he's been holding and asks Mother Firefly if she recognizes them.
So you do see how bloody his shirt is.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And all that. The understood reason in this cut of the film is the shootout.
The shootout,
Right, right.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
obviously maybe held an officer or
From
whatever.
there, yeah.
But the reality of it is there was a deleted scene that featured Dr. Satan. And what happened was, if you look whenever they're doing the news footage, there's like little fleeting glimpses of an ambulance.
Right.
Dr. Satan is in the back of that ambulance.
What?
Yes. And what happens is they interview him at the hospital. And Wayne Toth redesigned the Dr. Satan makeup. Walter Phelan came back to play Dr. Satan.
The fuck?
Yeah. He's sitting in his hospital bed, full makeup. A nurse comes in, played by Rosario Dawson.
What? the f-
I love her.
Yeah, and then she is like leaning over too close. Dr. Satan grabs her by the throat, pulls her throat out, and I have never, I think all of her blood came out. Like every drop of her blood.
Yeah.
And the one holding her is Dobson.
Oh, all right.
And it all completely cut.
Yeah.
He's really like super chill for having just gone through that.
yeah, no
honestly.
shit.
Honestly, yeah. And again, seeing the scene, it doesn't fit this movie.
No.
No, it fits House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the difficulty of bringing these characters to a real world.
Yeah.
Dr. Satan makes sense there.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the cartoon world.
Yeah, exactly.
But not here.
Rob Zombie even said that he isn't even discounting theories that the Dr. Satan thing didn't happen. That maybe that was Denise's delusion toward the end. Because
So you regret.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe it didn't happen.
Yeah, he's like, who knows? Who knows? He's not in Devil's Rejects.
But Mother Firefly opens one of the books immediately to a photo of Otis, Baby, and Spaulding. She points to Baby in the middle, calling her an angel. Wydell agrees, saying that she's going to be a dead angel when he finds her. It's
Aren't all angels?
by definition.
Yeah.
He says that her and her whole clan are already dead. They're ghosts just waiting to expire. He says that her only option is to cooperate and say where they fled to, and then Baby won't have to die like a dog in the street when he catches her. I did very quickly want to point out that William Forsythe based Wydell partly on Robert Shaw,
Oh.
Quint from Jaws.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was like, all right.
Yeah.
He really, to me, gives a standout performance in
Yes.
this. I think that he is fucking great in this movie.
Yeah.
I think he has some of the best line readings.
I feel like probably like too
No,
good.
yeah.
For
Yeah.
this. He's like really great in this to me.
he is.
I know he's done a lot, but I remember him as the lead detective on Deuce Bigelow. He has a rash on his genitals.
right.
Yeah, he does a good
The
performance.
man's got range.
Yeah, no,
He's got
yeah,
range.
Did that inform the performance? Sir?
It enhanced it.
But she asks if Wydell is done trying to scare her, but he assures her that he's only just begun. Taking the next book off of the pile, she asks if she can show him something. She pulls out photos of his brother George Wydell's dead face, saying that he might enjoy them. We see them, but before she shows them to Wydell, she says that this guy was a sweetie pie. Tall, big mustache, bald head. Wydell snatches them away from her and looks for himself. She says that she felt bad about blowing his brains out because he seemed like such a nice man. Feigning ignorance, she says that she thinks that his name was Wydell too. She asks if he was kin to Wydell, and he slaps her across the face.
Oh, God.
Still cuffed like you didn't watch it.
I know. Oh, no.
Oh my
man.
goodness.
Wow.
I know. The problem is that I had laughed at you saying Wydell, and then you said that, and I was like, oh,
No.
that's, yeah.
I'm not laughing at that
No,
part
the tone has shifted.
very quickly.
Nothing is funny anymore.
Still cuffed to her chair, he pushes it against the wall and gets in her face. He tells her that he's going to kill everyone in her family, hunting them down and skinning them like animals. Mother Firefly just licks her tongue out at him until he starts to choke her, promising that her family will be begging him for mercy. I'm like, officers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just letting this
Just
happen.
let it go.
I was concerned until she said harder, and then I was like, "Oh, all right."
Well, she is fucking with him the entire
Oh
time.
no,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's
The
just
tongue
bullshitting.
stuff.
Yeah.
All that. Yeah.
But the other officers finally pull him off of her, and she cheers for him. I feel like this is the line reading that you had.
You got that? You got it, boss.
But she says, "Go get him, Sheriff." She tells him to go get his ghost, but they've already crawled up in his head. He's found himself in something that he's never getting out of. She cackles as she tells him that they'll get him. He's already dead, and she'll see him and fucking hell.
Now, okay.
I was like, she's like, that you ain't never getting out of.
I think
God damn.
Oh, man.
That was a performance.
It was something.
it was
My only note for this is I don't even know what to say.
right. I think my thing is it honestly, and I no disrespect to Leslie Easterbrook because she's doing great in a lot of other aspects.
Yeah.
I feel like this line reading for me, and it starts from the beginning when she's like crawling up in your head, and I'm like, all right.
She really left it all,
Yeah,
you know?
no.
The thing is that the lines are actually really good.
Yeah, they are.
And-
go get your ghost.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is good. But because his lines were good.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, she made some choices with the delivery.
I just think it might have been better off if maybe tone it down a little.
Yeah,
It
just a
almost
little. Yeah.
felt like an outtake to make Rob Zombie laugh, and then he's like, "All right, let's go again, Leslie."
Yeah.
No, he's like, that was great. He's like, let's use that one and let's use the Roy help. And we got ourselves a movie.
Well, we're covering
And
both
cut.
covering both bases here.
We're underreacting. We're overreacting. You know, average it. It's perfect.
Balance
It's in the middle.
itself
Yeah.
out.
Something for everybody.
But she throws her head back laughing, and it freeze frames before star wiping to a photo of Adam and Roy, and then star wiping into the desert where they pull up in their Banjo and Sullivan van.
So this is something Rob Zombie uses this device a lot in his films,
Right.
where shit is hitting the fan,
Uh-huh.
but we're gonna show you them in happier times.
Yeah.
It does it a lot. I prefer it when it's like a flashback video, like House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
The like Facebook profile picture didn't work. Didn't really work for me. I don't know how many likes Banjo and Sullivan have,
Yeah.
but I prefer the video, and we see a bit of that later.
Yeah.
And that is very effective for me.
Yes,
like,
very much.
extremely.
There's a lot of 50-50.
Yeah. But Fooled Around and Fell in Love by Elvin Bishop plays on the radio, and Otis asks Roy if he likes the song. When Roy is too afraid to answer, Otis asks him again, and he finally says yes. He pauses to give Adam instructions on where to go, and then berates Roy for liking top 40 shit.
Dude, it's the 70s.
Yeah.
Like, top 40 shit was still good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, it's
So
like,
calm
you
down.
clearly wrote
Yeah.
this in the future. But he instructs Adam to stop the van. Adam does, and they all get out. Standing behind them and still holding his gun, Otis tells them where to go. Otis taunts Roy about what just happened with Gloria before saying that the stress of the day is really wearing on him and he needs to relieve some tension. He mentions Adam's wife, Wendy, saying that she looks like she knows how to relieve some tension. He asks if she likes it when Adam pukes. He's like, is that a thing you guys do?
Dude, okay.
What the fuck?
In all fairness, that did make me laugh.
It was funny.
Because he's just such an asshole.
Because that, like, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to bring that up.
It's like, when you threw up everywhere? Is
You guys like that,
that
shit
your
or
thing?
what?
Or?
But Adam just asks where he's taking them. Otis admits that they're going to go dig up some guns, and Roy asks, then what? Otis says there is no what. This is the end of the road. Roy asks if he's going to kill them, and Adam chimes in that they've done everything that he said. It's sad because, like, the look of realization that hits Roy, that's like, oh,
Yeah.
we're not making it out of
Yeah.
this.
And that's Jeffrey Lewis is just great.
He is, yeah.
He has very emotive eyes.
Yeah.
Right.
They talked about that on commentary.
They're, like,
that,
huge.
Yeah.
They're very
And
expressive.
same with Juliette Lewis.
I love her.
Yeah, me too.
Watch Yellow Jackets if you haven't watched
Yeah,
Yellow
please.
Jackets. Anyway. But suddenly screaming at them, Otis reminds them that he's the one calling the shots. He's Willy fucking Wonka, and this is his chocolate factory. Once
All
again, we have Otis taking,
Ownership.
putting himself in ownership of everything that's going on.
And in all fairness, I think Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory back then.
Yeah.
I think it came out in like 71. Very hard to imagine 7 years ago Otis sitting down in the theater watching this.
I didn't even think about that.
Come with me. And I'm like, Otis?
Yeah, no.
You're-
Get out of here.
Like, really? Like, it's hard to believe. But
Once again, you're asking us to believe a lot.
Yeah.
But while Otis yells in Roy's face, Adam picks up a stray piece of wood and attacks Otis with it. A fight ensues, with Otis getting the upper hand on Roy after Roy grabs his gun and Otis crawls on top of him. When Adam tries to attack him, Otis grabs a knife from a holder on his calf and stabs Adam through the leg. Adam is able to recover, pulling out the knife and still coming after Otis. But with Roy's hand still on the gun, Otis is able to overpower him and turn it on Adam, shooting him in the throat.
So there is clearly a mix of practical and digital effects.
Yeah.
And sometimes the digital works. There's one later that's pretty decent, but a lot of times it's very clear.
Yeah.
You can, like the dripping and stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't look great.
And sometimes the blood's just too shiny.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie said that it was a matter of time constraints.
Right.
Of course he would prefer,
Practical.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
wouldn't? Yeah.
but it is what it is.
Yeah, them's the breaks. But Adam drops the knife and grabs his neck before collapsing into the dirt. Otis finally wrestles the gun away from Roy and beats him with it. He holsters the gun and picks up the piece of wood that Adam had attacked him with and hits Roy with that too. He goes over to Adam, taking his knife back. He gets on the ground next to him and Adam begs him to stop, but he says that he's just getting started. He said that he was going to take it easy on him, but he brought this on himself for acting like a hero. He tells him he's going to bleed to death now, and Adam spits a mouthful of blood in his face, telling him, "Fuck you." Otis says that that's what they all say, but that doesn't scare him, and it certainly doesn't make Adam a hero. He hits him with the stick and tells him that this is what happens to heroes. He goes over to Roy and Adam calls out to his friend, but Roy doesn't respond. Standing over Roy, Otis tells him to pray to his God to come and save him. He says that he wants lightning to crash down upon his head. Roy begins to pray quietly and Otis screams at him to pray louder, so he does. He said that he feels it and starts to repent, saying that he finally feels the love and the Holy Spirit is in his body. I'm like, y'all, because Roy's like,
Yeah.
like looking up at him.
Well, first of all, it's very stupid because Roy, and this was ad-libbed also, but Roy's like, bless the bunnies, bless
Yeah.
the birds.
Yeah.
I would be like, smite this man as you have smoten.
Where's the old angry
Yeah,
God?
seriously, Old Testament man.
I'm calling him specifically.
Dude from Wicker Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
When he's singing in the cage.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why he chose the bunnies and
Yeah.
the birds. But I will say Bill Moseley is goddamn killing it.
Yeah, no, he's incredible in the scene. That's the thing that's so disappointing is you had an extremely talented cast.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why the stuff that falls flat, it's like, why? How?
And
How
even-
did you fumble this ball? Like you
Yeah.
were handed the best ball. Like I don't understand.
Even the writing in this section is great.
It is. Yeah, I agree. But Roy does stare at him, and Otis quickly drops the facade and tells him soberly, "I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work." This is
Yeah.
kind of a quote from Tex Watson, Charles Manson.
Wasn't it? I'm here to do the devil's business or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Work sounds better.
It especially coming from Otis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does, but why are you, if you're the devil, why are you talking about yourself
In the third person?
Yeah. What?
Well, right. I'm here to do my work.
I don't,
Well,
so you're clearly not in charge.
the devil likes his chicken spicy.
Yeah.
But this is such a great moment with the hair in his face and him pulling it to the side to reveal that he's like, no, like
Yeah.
I'm not. He's just really great in this scene.
Mm-hmm.
But Otis then takes the stick and beats Roy to death with it. As Adam calls out to his friend, Otis goes over to him and tosses the stick away. He straddles Adam, saying that he has other plans for him. He takes out his knife and Adam tries to fight, but it's futile. Their sounds are drowned out by Otis Rush performing "I Can't Quit You, Baby," and we cut to it being performed on the TV in the motel room. This segue really worked for me.
Yes.
Right?
It
didn't?
did.
I'm not gonna lie to you, that last like the attempt at them trying to get at dude
Uh-huh.
was very weak, and it
Yeah,
kind
they-
of fell flat for me because
I feel
the
like Adam
entire-
tried.
Yeah,
Roy
he's
really,
the only one.
Roy
yeah.
really didn't.
and it's not against anything like oh this sucked. Like it was like it made me mad because they didn't try, and
Not
I was
really.
like, you guys are not doing anything. Roy was so far ahead of them. Adam stayed next to him the whole time. If you were close enough to him, he's got a handgun.
Yeah.
Y'all would have overpowered him and nobody got hurt. Why the fuck are you guys doing everything he's saying and doing nothing to try to get out of this.
Especially once
It's
he's
like
basically said, "Oh, I'm killing you after
Yeah.
Yes. Like, this
Okay.
is
Well,
it.
then you've got nothing to lose. Why
Yeah.
are you still doing this? When Adam, when he hit him and he got the gun out of his hand, that should have been it.
Yeah.
Roy got them killed.
Yeah.
That's who got them killed.
He did.
He did.
Well, Roy did all of this.
No,
like
well-
Roy brought her back,
Yeah.
not brought her back, but
no,
he, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
This
yes,
was Roy.
but I mean, it's just like, goddamn, dude. It's like you
yeah.
guys really are not going to even try this. You're just like, oh, it's okay. You know what I mean? The bunnies.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
Plus the bunnies.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on, man. I will say that in regard to the transition, I kind of built in some kind of, not metaphor, but symbolism in a way.
Right.
Because we're cutting from Otis killing these men to Otis Rush on the TV
Oh, very
All
good.
right.
playing I Can't Quit You, right?
Yeah.
And Otis, this is his lifestyle. This is just what he does.
Yeah,
Right.
He
that.
he can't.
Yeah, that's a. I feel like you probably put more thought into it
Yeah.
than Bobby Zombie did. But I appreciate it.
I hope. I don't know.
But back in the room, Wendy and Gloria still sit on the bed while Baby plays with the knife in the chair. Gloria starts to hum along to the song on the TV, but Baby quickly tells her to shut the fuck up. Wendy asks if she can use the restroom, but Baby ignores her. And when Gloria tries to ask for her, Baby tells her that she heard. She's just trying to think of a reason why she would let her. She doesn't care if Wendy pisses herself. She wants something out of it. And this is when it's like, I feel like we had this really great performance from Bill Moseley. And then we go back to the room and she's like, well, you can piss yourself for all I care. It's just like, it feels very flat. I don't know.
Well, it's, yeah.
Maybe that's kind of what hurt it too for me was that anytime anything remotely kind of cool happened, shit like this happened. And then it's like, oh no, it's like you were had me for a second.
But you're
and
back
then
to it.
we're back to this.
Well, but then again, I keep saying 50-50.
Yeah, no, you did.
yeah,
Yeah, you did.
you're right. You're right.
And I do want to point out, because you did put some twang on it, like she should have.
Yeah.
You're right.
no.
I tried harder.
Yeah, you built in. There were moments in this, because this is Rugsville, Texas,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They've been born and raised here the entire
Yeah.
time by the Firefly
Yep.
family, and the way that they live
you
their
just
lives.
heard the way the mom talked.
Exactly.
Yeah, Mama
But-
was on fire.
But I swear to God, every time Baby speaks or I see her on screen, I'm like, this lady's clearly from California.
Yeah.
Like, she is clearly
That's
Yeah.
an excellent
Yeah.
point.
Yes.
her hair, like everything.
That's such a good point. Yeah. But after thinking about it for a second, she decides that what she wants is for Wendy to hit Gloria in the face because Gloria hasn't been through enough.
Right.
Gloria tells Wendy to do it, and before she does, Baby cautions her to make it hurt. Wendy barely taps Gloria, and Baby demands that she hit her harder. Wendy finally slaps Gloria across the face, but this still isn't good enough for Baby. It's just the harder. She ain't gonna break. I'm like, girl, like, I just feel, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know either.
You know, it's hard to watch.
I think that I don't know, because I've seen The Lords of Salem, and I think she gives a pretty decent performance in that.
Really?
Yeah, and so I'm like, I don't know if this is down to direction, because watching the table read, she said all these lines the exact same way during the table read.
He's like, you're doing good.
Yeah.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Fantastic, honey.
So I mean, I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. But I feel like, and it wouldn't be so bad if it weren't for everyone else giving their absolute
Doing what they're
fucking
supposed to.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But finally, Gloria braces herself and Wendy slaps her very hard. Baby is finally appeased, but makes Wendy kneel before her, kiss her on the cheek, thank her, and tell her that she's having a great time. And Wendy doesn't follow directions. Even when I was a kid, that bothered me.
It was like, that's not exactly what she said, but
I had a really good time.
You
It's like,
had a really good
that's
time?
not what I said.
yeah,
Get back on the bed.
exactly. This isn't over.
But Wendy does kind of do what she says, and Baby pushes her away, finally allowing her to go to the restroom with the warning to make it quick. Wendy goes into the bathroom, and Baby smiles at Gloria, who is still holding her face, and she's like, now what do you want to do? Once in the bathroom, Wendy locks the door and tries to think fast. She's frantic and starts knocking shit over, which really fucking annoyed me.
Yeah, the first thing she did was like pretty much kill the medicine cabinet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
What?
she just
For
knocks
what?
everything
Yeah.
over.
For what? Are you a cat? Like, why are you doing that?
Oh, something on a surface. Like, come on, man.
But she just starts to scream for help out of the small window above the toilet. Baby jumps up immediately, pissed that she knew Wendy would do something stupid in there. When she finds the door locked, she demands that Wendy open it. But seizing the moment of opportunity, Gloria grabs the gun that Baby left behind and turns it on her. As Wendy breaks the small window with the lid of the toilet tank, Baby asks Gloria what she ever did to her to deserve being shot. She conceals the knife that we already saw her holding behind her back, which I'm like, who was that for? Because we all know that you have that.
I'm not sure. Hey, I do have a thing that you just kind of reminded me of. There was another film where someone named Wendy tried to escape through the bathroom window.
Hey.
The Shining, yeah.
Yeah.
Take a shot, guys.
Right.
Remember that bit?
Yeah, take a shot. But Gloria swears that she'll kill her, but Baby tells her that she's their only hope because her brother is crazy. Now, T and I have had a point of contention for a long time. Maybe John Paul can be tiebreaker here.
Yeah.
Gloria immediately calls out to Wendy that it's okay to come out. And at the very same moment, Baby flings the knife at Gloria and it hits home right in her chest.
Right.
I always interpreted this as Baby being like, I'm your only hope, and Gloria being like, fuck, you're right. Okay, Wendy, come out. She's going to help us.
I personally interpreted it as, that's a hard fucking thing to say, dude. Interpreted it as Wendy being in the bathroom, Gloria having the gun on Baby. She's saying it's all right to come out because I got the drop on her.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay,
That's
I
what
didn't
thought.
because she's like, my brother's fucking crazy. And
Yeah.
she's like,
Yeah.
Wendy, it's all right.
No, I don't think that worked. If that worked, then Gloria is one of
I
the
know.
worst.
No,
It has
No,
always
yeah.
bothered me.
Yeah.
I real quick, I do, and I already know the answer, but when I seen her throw the knife and it gets stuck in her, I was like, I'm not getting my time back for this.
I already know the answer.
Yeah,
It's gone.
tell me that wasn't a lot.
No, it was a lot. I will say I did appreciate the fact that they had kind of shown the knife here and there. Mostly here.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
But the fact that it wasn't this thing like out of the blue.
yeah.
But this is
I
a
mean,
lot
that was
as
a
well.
perfect throw and hit and just,
Right in the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, that's the,
Yeah.
She's been practicing.
yeah.
But in the bathroom, Wendy stops and listens. Gloria drops to her knees and pulls the knife out of her chest. I don't think you're supposed to do that. I think you're supposed to leave it.
You are not supposed to do that.
But as she bleeds, Baby pulls her pants down and tells Gloria to shoot her right in the ass. You know, we got to see her ass. Gloria raises the gun and tries, but the gun clicks. It's empty. Baby then delivers T's favorite line in the whole film. There's no bullets in this thing. It's all fucking mind power.
That may even honestly, I think maybe even 14-year-old me was like, really?
Yeah.
That's what you're going with?
Yeah,
All right.
that's-
I'm not gonna lie, I was like, oh fuck, it was mind power.
Now, again, this isn't a bad reveal of the fact that the guns were unloaded the whole time.
Yeah.
Because you think about, because Adam did take a bullet to the neck, so never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, not all the guns.
I guess her gun,
Yeah,
her gun
just
wasn't
hers,
loaded. But I think that it's a good reveal. I think the way that it's said is very on the nose.
Right.
Yeah.
To say, it's mind power, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Or to just,
Who are you saying that for?
yeah, she's dying.
No shit.
You already know.
You knew this. Wendy is doing whatever she's doing now. But I think that it could have worked if maybe the line was rewritten as something else. Honestly, the click alone is a gasp moment.
It
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. But for her to do that whole thing, that's a lot. And that's ass shot number 2.
Yeah. Out of question mark.
Rob Zombie he loves his wife.
Yeah.
He does. But everything goes in slow motion as Baby pulls her pants back up and pushes Gloria down. She does have a little Confederate flag on her pants, which I'm like,
Yeah.
can I like y'all any less?
Yeah. I'm learning that I hate the Fireflies.
Wendy comes out of the bathroom and takes the chance to run right out of the unlocked door to the room. I'm like, y'all didn't even lock the door.
Well, the gun wasn't loaded
It's
either.
all fucking, there's no lock on this thing. It's all fucking mind
This
power.
isn't even a real hotel. You're in a simulation, Wendy.
But Wendy runs into the parking lot and Baby chases her as Gloria slumps over, dead. Outside, back in regular motion, Wendy bangs on every door screaming for help. I was like, is this American Psycho?
Yeah,
Is nobody
yeah.
fucking here?
Yeah.
No.
She runs through the parking lot and straight into Captain Spaulding. He comforts her for a second, but when Baby calls out, Daddy, grab that bitch, he headbutts Wendy and she goes down.
And again, the moment, obviously, what you see is awful.
Yeah.
But the moment is a good moment in the film.
Yeah.
Because it shocked me.
Yeah.
Right.
When she ran into him, he was going to do his clown act.
Yeah.
And the second he knew that she
He's
was
like,
running
nope.
from baby,
Yeah.
fuck it. I was
Yeah.
like, dude.
Like, not a moment of hesitation.
None.
But after a segue of close-up photos of Groucho Marx taped in with pictures of the victims in the scrapbooks, we're back at the police station where Dobson flips through the albums. He looks up at a photo of the mugshot of Captain Spaulding on the wall and calls out to Wydell that he's found something. Spaulding is the name of a character in the Marx Brothers film Animal Crackers. When asked if he thinks it means anything, Wydell says that he doesn't know, but they better get the film critic Marty Walker over here as soon as they can. He tells Dobson to tell Marty Walker to bring any information he knows about the Marx Brothers, in particular, any character that Groucho played in his films.
I appreciate this so much.
Yeah.
Because the names in House of a Thousand Corpses were these references, but they were just their names. That's it.
Yeah.
But this, again, when you bring some things into reality, this is one of the smarter decisions that were made.
Yeah, I agree.
That people are going to catch these references. The Marx Brothers weren't some underground.
Exactly, yeah.
You know? So I really appreciated that.
But back at Kahiki Palms, Spaulding carries Wendy back into the room and tosses her onto the bed. Baby jumps on the bed with her where she comes to weekly. Again, she has a, you fuck with me, huh? Like, I mean, it's like, I don't know if, and I completely understand if Sherry Moon Zombie wasn't really comfortable maybe going to the lengths that she did in the first film or going to the lengths that Otis and Spaulding and everybody else do. But it does come off, because we are trying to establish her as a more grounded character, it does come off very childish for what they're doing.
Yeah.
Which could speak to her character, but then I don't know. It just feels like you really switched her up, but not really. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well, it's because they're like, again, the whole grounded thing, but they're like, no, she's still there.
Yeah.
There's still
exactly.
bits.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still bits of her.
But Spaulding surveys the room and immediately asks where Otis is, because if he fucks this up, he's going to kill him. Baby ignores this and only continues to taunt Wendy, amazed that she had the balls to fuck with her. Back at the station, Officer Coggs, played by Chris Ellis, walks into Wydell's office where he sits with Dobson. Coggs is eating a sandwich and Wydell chastises him for eating.
Yeah, it's let the man eat.
He's just like, I'm hungry. But Coggs came to tell him that the film critic is here. Wydell is annoyed, so Coggs just brings him in.
I will say that Coggs' line is adorable to me.
Yeah.
Because he goes, hey, I get low blood sugar. I'm not going to be good to anybody.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is so...
You can't pour from an empty cup.
No,
I
you
mean,
can't.
He's, you know...
I like this dude. I remember him from Mad Men. He got Don Draper, beaten up with a phone book.
Yeah.
But I will say that he is probably one of him and maybe Dobson are the only like decent human beings in this entire film.
You might be right, honestly.
Roy sucks.
Well,
they were making fun of
Jimmy was okay.
Gloria was all right.
Gloria was fine. She was mean about the titties, but
Well, she only gave back what she was getting.
Exactly. Exactly.
So we got 3 good characters the whole film.
But in walks Marty Walker, played by Robert Trevor, and he is a character.
He is a character. I will say, I did hear in commentary that the majority of the stuff that he says in this was his own knowledge of the Marx Brothers.
Wow,
nice.
that is very cool.
Yeah, Rob Zombie said that he got this part basically because of how well he knew so much of Hollywood history and stuff. But Robert Trebor is a palindrome. It's also a fake name. His real name is Robert Shankman, but this is his stage name.
What is it?
It's Robert and then Robert backwards again. That's why you were like Trebor. Yeah, it's not a real name.
How did I not notice that? That's fucking hilarious.
His name's Robert.
I like him even more.
Yeah, he's just a cool dude.
That is hilarious. But immediately he proclaims himself to be a Marx Brothers expert. But Wydell just comments on his endless knowledge of bullshit. And I'm like, you asked me for help.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why you're being so aggressive right
well,
now.
fuck you. Good day. I'm gone. I don't have to help you.
Marty Walker goes off, saying that he has a list of all characters in the Marx Brothers movies, all characters played by and related to Groucho, and he starts to go off on an unrelated story about a Jewish actor playing a Nazi in one of his films. Wydell snatches the top paper off of a stack of papers that Walker brought. After looking at it for a second, he realizes that all the aliases that they go by, Rufus Firefly, Otis Driftwood, Captain Spaulding, they're all here on the list. Dobson says that this means they need to track down Groucho Marx and ask him a few questions.
No, Dobson. He's the leader.
Yeah.
But Cogs is like, didn't he die last year? Marty Walker is disgusted by the discourse, even telling Dobson that if he wasn't a cop, he'd wring his neck.
Dude,
They're like, hey!
What?
Cogs is like, whoa. This exchange made me laugh so hard. I was dead.
Cogs tries to calm him down, but Marty is too far gone. He stands and yells about Elvis Presley dying 3 days before Groucho and hogging all the headlines. Now Wydell gets to his feet, asking Marty what he said about the king. Marty starts to repeat himself, but Wydell grabs him by the shirt and pulls him close. This is when he's like, Grouch!
Yeah. No, because he tells him to repeat himself, and he said, I said Elvis Presley died 3 days before Grouch! Because he gets grabbed.
Yeah.
It makes me laugh every single time. But they said that the annoyance at the whole Elvis thing was William Forsythe's idea.
That's great.
And so I was interesting because the whole scene is predicated on this annoyance.
Yeah.
I like it because I feel like we're kind of, because these characters, we don't get a lot of
No, you don't.
No.
a lot of depth. I'll just say that.
But I will also point out that there is this thing about Elvis, and Tarantino has a very famous monologue about Elvis that was, I think, in My Best Friend's Birthday, his first ever feature, and then reused later in True Romance. And I feel like using Elvis as a thing,
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
these pop culture references,
Right.
I don't know. But I also didn't know he died 3 days before Groucho.
I didn't either.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But Wydell says that if he ever says another negative thing about Elvis Aaron Presley in his presence, he will kick the living shit out of him. He pushes Marty away and tells him to get him out of his face. Dobson escorts him out, but Marty continues to rattle off Elvis's filmography.
Because he goes,
He was in
Wydell's
Hollywood
like, he's defending himself. Wydell's like, get this Hollywood motherfucker. He's like, well, Elvis was also in Hollywood. It's very, very funny, dude.
But Wydell just yells after him, fuck Groucho.
Why though?
That's hurtful.
Back at Kahiki Palms, Wendy is tied up and gagged and babysits with her, watching Bride of the Monster with Bela Lugosi on the TV.
Very cool.
I
Yeah.
was like, okay, Bela Lugosi. In the bathroom, Spalding washes off his makeup. As he joins them in the main room, Otis bursts through the door wearing a mask that he made of Adam's face.
I appreciated the restraint they had to not show him cutting off the face.
Yeah.
That was surprisingly subdued.
Agreed. He runs around the room, prompting Baby to pull her knife and Spalding to point his gun at him. I'm like, that's clearly Otis.
Yeah.
He's got the same body.
No
Same
shit.
hair.
Yeah,
He's wearing the same shirt.
But with a laugh, he takes off his mask and assures them that he got everything. He immediately turns on Spalding, asking where he's been. The argument escalates, prompting both of them to pull guns on each other. The tension mounts, but Spalding smacks Otis's gun away, and Baby tells him to stop because they need to get out of here now. I was expecting one of those moments where it's like, no, fuck you. Ah!
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, y'all hate each other.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
What's funny is, as many times as I've seen this film, I expect it every single time.
Yeah.
That moment is played later.
Yeah, it is.
But this one always surprises
Yeah,
me.
I'm like, oh no, we're mad. We're big mad. Okay. Kneeling down next to Wendy, Baby asks what they're going to do with her, but Spalding, still staring at Otis, simply tells her to leave her for the maid to clean up. Otis, though, has a better idea. He kneels down next to Wendy and shows her the mask that he made of Adam's face. She immediately begins to twist away from him and sob. Otis makes the mask say that he regrets to inform her that the Banjo and Sullivan show will be canceled tonight.
All right, that's very funny.
That was funny.
That's really good.
He's like, we regret to inform you. He holds the mask over Wendy's face, and he and Baby laugh, but Spalding is still mad. Wendy screams, and we cut to the next morning.
Okay, so this, for me, because when you think about it, Spalding didn't kill PJ Souls when he stole the car.
No.
He is shown to be a terrible person and a murderer, but he does have an odd compassion sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're straight psychopaths.
They're gone. Yeah.
Right.
He has like some kind of weird in between, which I thought would cause more friction later, but does not.
It
Yeah,
doesn't.
yeah.
Like at all.
I just, but the thing is these characters aren't developed enough
No.
to have that kind of nuanced.
Not at all.
Yeah, I do crazy shit too, but I have a line.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there's no, it's just like fuck you, like that. I mean, that's it. But the next morning, Maria, played by Jasara Gennaro, makes the rounds with her housekeeping cart. She knocks on the door of room 2 and identifies herself, but when no one answers, she uses the key ring to let herself in. When she flips the light switch, nothing happens, of course. She opens the curtains instead, letting in daylight and grimacing at the mess left behind, cowboy boots, clothes, and guitar cases all thrown around the room. She makes her way to the closed bathroom door. When she opens it, she sees Gloria and Jimmy posed in the shower with the guitar, both dead. Written with blood on the walls are the words dead and fuck behind them. I was like, you had to get one more fucking.
Yeah.
Well, I saw because you get a shot in the mirror. It says fuck and it says WY. And I'm like, does it say fuck Wydell?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
In the blood?
That is the funniest fucking
Yeah.
thing.
Like, I really hope it doesn't.
I hope it does.
Oh my God.
This is the level of petty that I just.
Before you left, I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, one more.
Yeah.
And they did you say they wrote Devil's Rejects?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blood
Which
is
they're just embracing.
blood is smeared all around the room with the Devil's Rejects written huge on one wall. Maria screams and runs back into the main room, but the front door swings shut and we see that Wendy, wearing Adam's face, is hung up on it. I don't know why she hasn't said anything this whole time.
Yeah.
Or why she's not saying help me, or something like that. But she's still alive and reaches for Maria, finally falling off and clinging to her. Her eyes and Adam's face roll wildly as both she and Maria scream. Maria falls backward onto the bed as Wendy continues to scream on top of her. Maria is finally able to push her off and runs out of the room, screaming and now covered in blood as well. Wendy runs after her, still wearing Adam's face. Her arms are free. She could take it off. She could, but okay.
Yeah, I got it.
She can, but it is a cool visual.
It
and
is.
her eyes rolling around in the face. It did look creepy. It looked good.
And her like falling onto her, it's all very, very good horror.
Yeah. But she continues to scream and run aimlessly until she reaches the middle of the road. She tries to stop a car driving by, but of course they speed past her. Like, take the mask off.
Yeah.
Like, I would be fucking horrified.
She wearing someone's face.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know?
Wendy is like, then you can just drop fucking dead. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, a truck plows right into her.
Yes, it does. See, and this is my problem. Because I want more of a 70s aesthetic.
Yeah.
You've got this incredibly 2000s shaky cam.
Yeah.
And then you've got this incredibly 2000s, oh no, a surprise hit by a truck.
Yeah.
It's very of its time.
It was very predictable.
Yes.
And that sucked because you're right. This whole little like sequence here when she walks in to check on the room and then Wendy comes out and like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, stop running. Okay, stop running.
Yeah.
Okay, why do you still have the mask on and you're not talking? Okay, stop running. Okay, why did you stop in the middle of the street?
It is frustrating
It's
because
like,
you want her to make it and she makes all the wrong decisions.
No, yeah.
Have, like, to make it. But truck hits her. She's a bloody stain in the road. The brakes screech and then it cuts to black. When it comes back up, we get shots of Wendy's bloody hand, her entrails spread across the road, her lifeless body concealed under a sheet. Police patrol the area and the medical examiner, played by Mike Belsfield, kneels next to Wendy and takes a look under the sheet. Wydell rudely tells Sheriff Ken Dwyer, played by Steve Railsback, to send someone over to get some of Wendy's skull and bag it.
So, yeah, he's very rude. But
Yes.
I wanted to say, because Steve Railsback, he gets a very small role here. And I'm wondering if he got this cameo because the only thing I know him from is in the original Helter Skelter TV movie from 1976. He played Charles Manson.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
And so I was like,
I mean, that's a fitting cameo.
yeah, and again, the 70s. I mean, it just makes sense. But who knows?
Yeah. But Wydell looks over at Maria and identifies her as the person who found Wendy. They both share a laugh over the fact that they don't speak Spanish and she doesn't speak English. And the one cop that does speak Spanish called in sick today with explosive diarrhea.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. The two walk over to Maria and he shows her baby Otis and Spalding's mugshots. He then asks her in Spanish if she recognizes any of them, but she says no. I was like,
yeah.
I hope that other sheriff feels like shit.
I was very
'Cause that
surprised.
Yeah. Dobson comes over to tell Wydell that there are a couple shit kickers here to see him. And before going over to see who it is, Wydell offers words of comfort to Maria.
There's a very fortunate shot that he got. He said the tear that rolls down her cheek was not planned, obviously.
Oh, wow.
And it's just like a perfect thing, and then that scene's over.
Yeah.
I was like, that's really lucky.
Yeah.
Wydell walks over to his visitors, and they are Rondo, played by the Danny Trejo, and Billy Ray Snapper, played by the Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah, DDP.
Yes.
It's me.
Yeah.
It's me. I was so surprised. And I was like, well, they've been teasing it by calling Spalding Cutterall film.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
It really is.
I read somewhere that Chris Jericho auditioned for Rondo. But so it would have been Chris Jericho and Diamond Dallas Page. But
Which
they
is
said
kind of funny.
Yeah, they said Chris Jericho was too pretty to play Rondo. Which I'm like,
That's rude.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Danny Trejo's like, oh, cool.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. But I mean, Rondo's got a gruffness to him that I don't think Chris Jericho could match.
Right.
And Danny Trejo is Danny Trejo.
I think, he's perfect.
Yeah. Although I do have to say, I think Chris Jericho, even though his political views are dog shit, I think he is the GOAT. I got to say it.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's my opinion.
But Wydell gives Rondo a list of names to track down, and when Rondo laughs at the names, Wydell takes the opportunity to make fun of his name. The trio trade tense words with each other before Wydell leaves with the demand that they not fuck this up. We cut to Otis driving the Banjo and Sullivan van with Baby and Spalding inside. My thing is, you guys left those bodies there.
Yes.
We probably shouldn't be driving this van.
Yeah.
How famous are they? You know, because if people know,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
if it's on the radio that Banjo and Sullivan have been murdered,
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Hi.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah. But Reelin' in the Years by Steely Dan plays on the radio, and Otis is pissed, saying that he doesn't like this plan. He trusts Charlie just about as much as he trusts Spalding, and Spalding asks what his problem is with Charlie, and Otis can only reply, I know what I know, and I know I don't like that nutsack.
That is Tarantino.
100%. Spalding tells him to shut up because there's no place safer than Charlie's that he can think of. They pass a sign advertising an ice cream shack, and Baby points it out. Otis taunts her, prompting Baby to taunt him back, and the two trade fuck yous, annoying Spalding. He asks if stopping for 2 seconds will kill him, and Otis says that it will. They continue to taunt him, chanting that they're going to get some tutti fucking fruity ice cream. Fed up, Otis yells at them that there is no ice cream in their future. We cut to Spalding and Baby eating ice cream cones as Funk Number 49 by James Gang plays on the radio.
So I got, hey, Bart, can we stop for ice
Literally.
cream? Energy here. Rob Zombie on commentary, he said, all the horrible shit you've seen the Fireflies do.
Yeah.
He said, this is where you start to relate to them again because who doesn't love ice cream? I was like, I love ice cream.
We all love ice cream.
I'm relating to the ice cream. Although Tutti Frutti ice cream is not a great flavor. I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah.
I would not have picked Tutti Frutti. I
No.
would not have picked Tutti fucking Fruity.
No. I don't want to know what's been done to my ice cream.
But
Yeah.
just because we both like ice cream, I
Yeah.
don't feel like that's
That's
not
not
enough ground
Doesn't
to
override
humanize
what Otis did.
And Otis still isn't eating the ice
No.
cream.
Yeah.
So even if it was,
So we can
I still...
We can still hate Otis, I guess. I don't know.
I felt like I was being punked. I was like, this isn't real.
No, it's a lot.
Yeah,
It's a
I was
lot.
like, this is.
It's, yeah.
And it really does feel like an attempt to kind of make them funny and
Yeah.
make them kind of cute. And
It's not.
You've gone too far to,
Yeah.
to
Oh, no,
reel it
yeah.
back in with ice cream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's.
Of all things, that's not happening.
That'll get him. Nah,
Yeah.
not really. Again, I think that the thing for me is that they've become so irredeemable that it's hard to, from this point, have fun again.
Yeah.
The movie's not fun anymore.
No.
Yeah.
But Baby tries to get Otis to try some, but when he refuses, she smears it on his nose. He's mad. Spalding says one last time, tutti fucking fruity, and then that's the end of the scene. Wydell pulls up to the now empty Firefly house. He goes down into the basement where he hears Spalding's voice calling him Piggy and snorting, which is something Spalding would say.
You remember his shirt?
Yes. And telling him to come closer. He goes into an area with a chair that's facing away from him, and the top of a bald head peeks out from the top, so Wydell points his gun at it. He tells the clown not to move, but when the owner of the bald head speaks, it's not the clown. Wydell stops in his tracks and immediately lowers his gun when he comes around and sees his brother, George Wydell, played by Tom Tolles, sitting in the chair.
I love this a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tom Tolles gives an amazing performance in
Yes.
this cameo.
Yeah.
But Mother Firefly was right. Those ghosts are crawling all up in his head. I think this is proof of that.
Oh, yes. But he asks what he's doing here, and George tells him simply that he lives here now. Wydell says that this isn't his home, but getting to his feet, George says that he has no choice. This is his fate, and he can't rest until this is all over. He pleads with his brother to kill them and end this, but Wydell says that he's walking the line on this one. George mocks him, saying that he wants them dead, and screams at him to kill them. A phone rings, and Wydell wakes up from this nightmare at his desk at the station.
So they filmed the waking up from the nightmare first.
Oh, all right.
And they didn't know what they were going to do exactly for the nightmare. And William Forsythe was like, well, it better be a damn good, to wake up
he's
like
shaken.
that.
Yeah.
And so they came up with this. And I think this is one of the most successful things in the film.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you have not only his motivations for doing this, but his struggle against himself.
Yeah.
Because he's
trying to do it right. Yeah.
And even hiring the bounty hunters is not bad.
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything
Not yet.
Right,
yet.
right.
But his brother's voice in his head, where does it lead him?
Right. But he answers the phone and it's Rondo. Rondo says that he thinks he found his guy. A friend of his used to buy hooch from a guy 10 years ago that went by the name Wolf J. Flywheel, and his partner called himself the Captain.
That's a little... I mean, if you're trying to be secretive.
My friend knew this guy named Groucho Marx.
He had a mustache. It was
Wydell confirms that the name Wolf J. Flywheel is also on the list because
how the
of
fuck
course
isn't it? And that's your Christian name?
Yeah. Right. It's on his birth certificate. Rondo goes on to say, now Wolf J. Flywheel goes by the name Charlie Altamont. Wydell tells him that they know what to do now, and Rondo laughs, saying they wouldn't be talking if he didn't. He hangs up the phone, and when Billy Ray asks him if the shit is on, Rondo confirms that it is, and the two laugh. In the next scene, Wydell visits Mother Firefly in her cell, telling the officer guarding her to take the night off. With the blood from their first encounter still dried on her face, Mother Firefly taunts him, asking if he can't sleep with hell running loose on the streets, or did he just miss Mama? Wydell says that he actually was feeling kind of lonely, and she laughs, saying that she knew he couldn't stay away. Women like her are a rare breed, and she's got power over men. Wydell tells her that he agrees. Sitting on the floor, she hikes up her dress and says that he turned her on this afternoon and asks if he likes it rough because he can have it any way he wants it. Wydell says that he doesn't want it rough as he pulls her to her feet. With her pinned against the wall and thinking that flesh showing is about to ensue, we are zoomed in on her face as he repeats that he likes it hot and slow. Suddenly, her face contorts in pain and we hear squelching. There's a mix of killing and thrilling reactions happening here that is a little confusing.
Honestly, like, there are glimpses of a great performance in what's happening there.
Right.
It's just very confusing.
Yeah.
And then when you realize what's going on.
Yeah.
When we zoom out, we see that Wydell has stabbed her through the stomach. She slumps against the wall and falls as Wydell strolls out with her blood on his shirt. No attempt to conceal it.
No.
Good for him.
I think that's what surprises me about this is that, he's the sheriff. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
when people find this, you're going to have to explain.
Well, and he just told the officer to take the night off.
Yeah.
So if he was supposed to be there now, he's implicated. You think he's not going to be like, well, Wydell told me to leave.
It's not a good look.
Yeah. I don't think he cares anymore.
Yeah, probably not.
Right. But we cut to Charlie's Frontier Fun Town, where the neon lights blare and Rock On by David Essex plays. This is a great song.
Yeah, and honestly, the low rumble of the music with them rounding the corner in slow motion, it's some good filmmaking.
It's good.
It looks good.
The Banjo and Sullivan van drives in and the wooden gate closes behind them. Spalding, Baby, and Otis get out of the van and survey the area as Charlie comes out, flanked by Candy and Casey, played by Deborah Van Valkenburg. He calls out to Spalding, saying that he swore if he ever saw his dumb cunt, no good piece of shit motherfucking brother again, he'd be a dead dumb cunt, no good piece of shit motherfucking brother.
All right, Tarantino.
And, I include the exact dialogue because this is absolutely a Tarantino line.
100%. It's the repetition.
Yes. The smile drops from Spaulding's face, and Charlie points his gun at them, telling them to put their hands up as Candy repeats him. They raise their hands, Otis yelling at Spaulding for bringing them all the way out here just so Charlie can point a gun at them, and Spaulding tells them to just do what they're told as he raises his own hands. When Charlie comes down to them, Spaulding calls him a crazy pig fucking dumbass pussy piece of shit. Again, the stellar dialogue.
Yeah.
I just had to call it out. Charlie tells him that he's a dead man, and Spaulding steps toward the gun pointed at him. Charlie pulls the trigger and sprays Spaulding in the face with water, and it was a water gun, y'all.
Right. Oh, he's got that Patty's shotgun now.
Get blasted in the mouth.
Egg.
Yeah.
What the? But everyone laughs except for Otis. Spaulding and Charlie laugh and hug each other. Charlie apologizes to Baby and Otis, saying that it's a trick they used to play on people, and clearly it still works. Spaulding introduces Charlie to his daughter, Baby, and Charlie's like, my niece is all grown up, and they hug. Spaulding asks if he remembers Happy Boy, referring to Otis, and Charlie asks if he's still an asshole. In response, Otis flips him off, and they're all like, ah! Like they're having a great time.
See, and this is where it kind of confused me a little bit, because I was thinking, I'm like, well, if he's referring to him as Happy Boy,
Yeah.
and that would mean that probably he
knew
met
him back
Charlie when he
then.
was young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is he Otis's, or
Yeah.
is he fucking
Spaulding.
Spaulding's son?
Yeah. See, that's why I thought they were brother and sister, because I was like, well, clearly he knows them. If they're good buddies, like
Yeah.
old friends, and like you said, Happy Boy, that sounds like something you'd call a younger kid.
A
Exactly.
grumpy
Yeah.
kid, yeah.
So I'm starting to think that we shouldn't trust the internet, guys.
But Charlie introduces Candy and Casey, and Otis stares at Candy. When she asks if he sees something he likes, Otis gives the greatest pickup line in the history of anything. Maybe I set my standards pretty low, so I'm never disappointed. I was like, oh, you fucking smooth devil.
It's the way he delivers it, too. It's so good.
Candy promises that she doesn't disappoint, and everybody's like, ooh.
Which, again, is so
it's like
The whole
weird.
cast,
studio,
everybody,
Yeah.
studio audience
Yeah.
reaction.
It's so strange.
Charlie says that they should all get inside. No use standing around like, and he and Spaulding yell together, Stonefoot Roosters at a fuck farm.
I don't.
Yeah. All right.
That is holy Miss Mona. Got me a live one. Like, I don't understand what any of this means.
Lots
No.
of inside jokes.
Yeah.
But they all laugh and go inside. Once inside, they all drink, smoke, do coke, dance, and party as Rocky Mountain Way by Joe Walsh plays. And even Otis is having a great time.
He is.
Yeah.
And it was at this point that I was like, what the fuck was the music budget?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
how are you affording all
Yeah.
this shit?
No, yeah.
Meanwhile, spliced in, we get clips of Wydell doing his best Travis Bickle as he pretends to confront the Devil's Rejects in the mirror.
That was exactly-
He's like, you talking to me?
It was, again, all these homages to all these great 70s films.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just another one on the list.
We see the gang dancing in slow motion with their guns at Charlie's before Wydell repeats into the mirror, Lord, I am your arm of justice. And he says it a lot and it
does.
makes
Yeah.
me laugh. Like, I don't know why repetition like that makes me laugh.
It made me think of the Jiminy Jillikers line. It's like, no, but from different angles. Again and again. And again and again and again. William Forsythe is like, no! But it works. I love the cutting back and forth.
Yeah.
Yes,
Them
yeah.
not knowing that vengeance is coming.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because he says, Lord, I am your arm of justice, your righteous sword of vengeance. Let my blows be true.
Right.
So he's ready to fuck it up.
Yeah. And honestly, again, they deserve
Yeah, they
it.
do.
Yeah.
That's the
No,
thing
yeah.
is I'm like, I'm rooting for Wydell. And it's funny because like clearly he's supposed to be like, oh no, like he's coming. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But I'm like, yes, go get them.
Yeah.
But in the morning, Charlie and Cleavon go to a stand that has chickens for sale. Charlie tells Cleavon that they're getting chickens because his brother makes the best fried chicken. They warmly approach Daryl, played by Michael Redbone Alcott, who sits picking his nose in front of the chickens. Daryl shows off his chickens that he has for sale, and Charlie excitedly orders 2 Rhode Island red chickens. I love that he's describing them, and he's like, Rhode Island red!
Yeah,
he's
he
like,
was.
oh, hell yeah!
But here's the thing is you tell me straight up if this doesn't sound like, look at the big brains on Brad.
Yeah.
It's the same cadence
It is.
of Samuel L.
Yeah.
Jackson
It
in Pulp
is,
Fiction.
in Pulp Fiction, yeah.
But I will say I do appreciate them doing a little callback to Spalding and his chicken.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
makes the best fried chicken.
He does, from what I hear, and even Jerry was glad to get some whenever they left the thing. So, I mean, it's canonical.
But after a moment of contemplation, after Charlie places his order, Daryl asks, now y'all aren't planning on fucking these chickens, are you?
What the fuck is this?
What business is it? But no, really, please don't fuck
Yeah,
the
don't-
chickens.
Please
Yeah,
don't
do
fuck
that.
chickens.
Please eat the chickens.
Yeah.
But immediately, Charlie is pissed and asks if Daryl fucks chickens. Daryl admits that he's thought about it, and he details what he would do, or maybe has done.
Okay, so here's my issue. The chicken lover, as we'll refer to him now.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is not one reputable person in this film.
No.
They're going to a farm to buy chickens for dinner.
For dinner,
Yeah.
and something nasty
and
has
we
to happen.
have to have something
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah.
We can't just let them buy the chickens.
No.
It's got to be disgusting. I just don't get it.
Charlie is understandably still pissed at the accusation. And Daryl says that he doesn't think Charlie would do it, but Cleavon kind of looks like he might. He
What
doesn't
the
approve of it himself, though. And now you done pissed off Cleavon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understandably, again.
He was just tagging
He's
along.
just, he's just standing there. Daryl apologizes, and Charlie tells him to go grab the chickens. Charlie hands Daryl the cash, which was very kind of him.
Yeah.
They should have taken the chickens.
Yeah, and they leave. Charlie promising that next time they'll go somewhere else, and Cleavon yelling that they are never buying chicken from him again. Daryl just looks surprised that it all went left.
Yeah.
He's like, I ask everyone that.
Yeah. That's my sales
Red
pitch.
store policy. Yeah.
As they drive away, Wydell pulls his police car in front of them. He calls out, Wolf J. Flywheel? And Charlie feigns ignorance, but Wydell isn't buying it. He only tells him to get over there now. With Daryl watching in the background, Charlie and Cleavon approach Wydell. Wydell tells him that they have to talk about Captain Spaulding, but Charlie asks, Captain who? Wydell insists that he knows exactly who he's talking about, but Charlie says there's no sense in getting crazy in the middle of the street. Wydell pulls his door closed on Charlie's hand and tells him how it's going to go down. Charlie needs to make sure that Spaulding, Baby, and Otis are at his place at midnight. He finally releases Charlie's hand, and Charlie asks what happens if he says no. Wydell pulls a gun on him and says he'll shoot him and Cleavon dead in the street and forget this ever happened.
Yeah, but why fuck me though? Like he was just standing there. He's just there doing his job.
He-
He was just there twice.
Yes. His boss asked him to come along.
Yeah.
I laughed
Doing
so hard
nothing.
because John Paul was watching this last night and he was like, this man is just standing here. He was like, he didn't even do anything.
Well, because of
twice in a row.
What Wydell says too. He
Yeah.
goes, and then I'll shoot that ugly motherfucker.
Yeah, he's like,
and he's like, what the hell?
I just came to pick up dinner. I got accused of fucking chickens.
Yeah.
I got called ugly. Like, I just came to get dinner.
I'm never leaving the frontier again.
Yeah, fuck this.
It's just so mean.
Yeah.
But Wydell reminds him, tonight, midnight, and he drives away.
So this is where we have, like, I guess, some kind of inner turmoil that's supposed to be happening with Charlie.
Right.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, you have until midnight. You tell your friends what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Problem solved. I don't understand how this is any tension at all.
Well, because he's going to kill him and Cleavon.
Not if I tell Spaulding and his kids.
Yeah.
His kids. That was a little generous.
Spaulding and his littles.
Yeah. That little child Otis. But I feel like, again, you have this moment where it's like he didn't like
Oh,
kill
you're
him.
saying like they can be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the second Wydell and his folks come running
We
in,
ambush.
we got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You're telling me that Charlie runs this thing in the middle of like one of the worst apparently places in the
horrible.
world.
A horrible place.
And you don't think he's armed to the teeth?
Right.
Yeah.
He's armed to the teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Charlie.
Or maybe he's just got a bunch of those water guns.
That's true.
Yeah, that-
He's like, dude, we are not prepared.
I actually don't believe in guns. But we cut to a cookout where Billy Ray and Rondo barbecue and drink beer. There's also a random old man sitting next to them listening to all of this.
Yeah.
And nobody seems to care.
If I'm not mistaken, I think they said on commentary that's supposed to be Rondo's father.
All right.
And this
So
is,
he does not care what his,
No.
what his son's up to.
yeah, it might be his bounty hunting business. I don't
Okay,
know.
okay.
He gave it over to his son. Rondo hunting. I don't know. What I do know is that this trailer park situation, again, abandoned. They found it.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're just saving so much money.
Yeah.
I would be like, did something happen here?
Rob
All these
Zombie's like,
abandoned-
cool, man.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
But Wydell is with them, and Rondo tells him to relax because this will all work out to his satisfaction and offers him a beer. Wydell cautions that he shouldn't be worried about the beer. He should be keeping his mind on the business at hand. And when Billy Ray gets overconfident, Wydell tries to put him in his place, and a fight ensues with fuck yous being traded because, of course.
Of course.
As it starts to get heated, Rondo jumps up and stands in between them. Referring to himself and Billy Ray as the unholy two, he reminds Wydell that he hired them because they're the best that money can buy.
I would like to point out on the Sinister Urge, the Rob Zombie album, House of a Thousand Corpses, the song is very long because there's like a bit of like, hidden track stuff.
Right.
But the hidden track at the end of House of a Thousand Corpses is called Unholy 3. And I feel like that's got to be something, right?
He's like, that's cool. We'll use it.
Yeah.
Even if we got to change it.
Well, we just got two. Two's fine.
I'm honestly
Right.
surprised there wasn't like a spin-off film of The Unholy Two.
Honestly, I would watch it.
I would.
I love these guys. Not the characters, but the actors
Yeah.
playing them.
Yeah.
But Rondo reassures him that he has nothing to worry about. They will get the job done. They'll talk shit along the way, but the job will get done, which is how I operate.
I mean, how
Like,
else
I'm a
do you-
complaint and I'm
Yeah,
gonna talk shit, but
yeah.
I'll get it done.
You'll be happy.
Yeah. Wydell tells them that he doesn't care what condition they're in, but he needs them to be brought to him alive. Just then, this made me laugh out loud because it's so ridiculous. Billy Ray's, I guess, wife comes out to tell him that his mom is on the phone, and he goes, "Yeah, she owes me $14," and rushes inside.
Yeah.
14. so specific.
All right.
Did he buy her a CD? No, it's the 70s.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, I don't know what he bought her.
That made me laugh.
That's really good.
But as Rondo walks away with Wydell, he tries to explain to him that he's using a bazooka to exterminate 3 cockroaches. You don't blow up your house to get roaches. You send in someone who can crawl like a roach and think like a roach to get them. But Wydell just tells them to be careful or he's going to get stepped on like a roach. And I was like, all right. I felt like it was unnecessary, but
I actually don't mind. I don't mind it. And I'll tell you why.
Wydell?
No, this
What?
situation.
Yeah.
The dialogue.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying I don't know why he was being so mean when Rondo was just like, we can do this another way.
I think what he's saying is like, if you go in there with your bravado of being the exterminator, these motherfuckers aren't the same shit you always deal with.
Right. Fair
So
enough.
you're a roach now.
Yeah, but I'm like, Rondo didn't deserve that.
No, he's like, I'm
I
trying
think
to
I'm
help
just
you.
Protective over Danny Trejo. Don't talk to him
Don't
like
do
that.
Yeah.
But that night at Charlie's, he drinks with Spalding and tries to explain to him that his life isn't as glamorous as it seems. They laugh with each other and Spalding starts to do some cocaine. Charlie excuses himself to the restroom, warning Spalding not to do all of it. Spalding asks, "Would I do that to you?" Charlie smiles and says that he wouldn't because he's his brother and he loves him. He starts to walk away but stops and snatches his cocaine up, saying that he does love that better.
So that's ridiculous, first of all.
Yeah.
What I wanted from this moment was more turmoil,
Right.
Yes.
more guilt
Yes.
with Charlie. But he's like, don't do all my cocaine.
Yeah, well, because when he walked away and he's like, "No, because you're my brother and I love you," I
Yeah.
thought there would be like a pause of
Some
like,
kind of-
listen,
And then
never mind, something.
Yeah.
But he's like, "No, I'm gonna take my cocaine." Like,
Yeah.
you can at
Oh,
least
I mean, he's telling them. I mean,
after what you've done, you can at least let the man have the
yeah.
cocaine.
Honestly.
well, there's no honor amongst thieves.
I-
guess so.
apparently.
Well, is he trying to say, well, if Wydell told me to give up my cocaine, I would have
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
there would have
I'd
been
have
more.
pushed back.
But he asked for you.
But with the cocaine gone, Spalding lights up a joint, and To Be Treated Right by Terry Reid begins to play. This whole sequence to me is top shelf, chef's kiss. I love this whole part.
It's fantastic. And again, Rob Zombie said that this was all filmed with dialogue.
You don't hear
Nope.
anything but the
Yeah.
music, and
No.
it's perfect to me.
The way that it's edited and cut, all
Yeah.
you need. He said all
And
you
the
need.
the song is perfect. Like,
Yeah.
every aspect of it.
He said you just need the reactions of what's happening.
Yes.
Says it all.
All right.
And it works.
But we see the Devil's Rejects, Spalding relaxing on the couch and smoking a joint, Baby laughing and having a beer with Casey as she sits in the bathtub, Otis in bed making out with Candy. We again hear nothing but the music. When Baby finishes her beer, Casey leaves to go get her another one. As she leaves from the fridge, Rondo appears, puts his hand over her mouth and slits her throat. Now, I don't know if Charlie knew that this was going to be part of the deal.
I don't know,
Yeah.
dude. I think that he thought that they were just going to grab them.
Yeah.
Because these are basically your employees, right?
Yes.
And they're murdering them.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't part of the deal, Blackheart.
No.
Yeah.
That wasn't part. But in the room with Otis and Candy, Billy Ray scratches the record with the needle, prompting them to turn around. Otis immediately realizes what's going on and looks defeated. I really liked that moment of just silent fuck. Like,
Yeah.
I shouldn't have let my guard down. Like, you can see it all on his face.
He's like, I should have been grumpy.
Yeah, I should have stayed happy, boy. fucking knew it. Billy Ray laughs. Rondo comes up behind Baby in the tub and pulls a gun, startling her. She rises out of the tub with her hands up. Again,
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah. Again, teenage T. But I will say,
Thank you, Bobby Z.
I understand. Yeah, thank you, Bobby Zombie. I will say that now I understand why it's a little gratuitous.
It's a lot. It's a lot of ass from one person.
Yeah.
But Candy pulls a gun on Billy Ray, but he quickly shoots her in the head. Otis rushes Billy Ray, but he hits him with that diamond cutter. No, he throws him out the window.
He's like, bang.
That would have been great.
Yeah, it would have.
It would have.
Like, oh, he's just DDP. Well, it's funny because there's a lot of times that professional wrestlers would show up in movies randomly. Like before The Rock was The Rock, he was giving people the rock bottom in movies. And you're like, but you're not playing, but what?
Okay.
So do you
just accept it?
Do you watch wrestling or do you?
Just accept it. Despite all of the gunshots and death, Spalding is still vibing on the couch, enjoying his joint. The music fades out and Wydell enters the room. He pours himself a shot and takes it, slamming the glass down and bringing Spalding back down to earth. Laughing and assuming that it's Charlie, he stands to go over to him but freezes when he sees that it's Wydell. Wydell tells him that he's been looking for him, but Spalding just chuckles and continues to smoke.
The disrespect.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
On top of everything else.
Like, did you see what we wrote for you in the hotel?
Right. Did you see her note? He finally tells him, pointing to his chest, that he better start the killing right here and make sure that he's all the way dead or he's coming back for him. In response, Wydell shoots him.
And I think this speaks to Sid Haig's likability because I'm like, this dude's standing up. He's,
Yeah.
for his daughter. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
This is a stand-up man.
Yeah.
This is what a father should be.
then I remember the clown business and
Yeah.
starting to look a little different.
Outside, Charlie smokes. I thought Charlie would make himself scarce, but
Yeah.
he's outside smoking. As Rondo holds Baby back and Billy Ray... Baby back.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
I'm already hungry enough, dude.
And Billy Ray beats the shit out of Otis. Wydell brings Spalding outside and Billy Ray gets off of Otis to force him into the truck. Charlie calls out to Spalding that it's business, it's not personal, but Baby tells him that he's an asshole. Wydell stands next to him and says, Baby's right, he is an asshole.
He's like, I thought we were cool, dude.
Yeah. Did what you asked me.
Yeah.
So you mean I got no friends up
Oh, cool. I thought I was trading. God, this is a mistake. I made a mistake.
Fucked up. He sends Charlie back inside and kicks Otis in the stomach, telling him to get up. In his truck, Wydell laughs maniacally as he drives at top speed, driving through the police tape outside of the Firefly farm.
I've never seen a happier person.
He's thrilled.
Yes.
And he should be. I'm not gonna lie. Let him have his moment.
Yeah. I'm a little annoyed that let's relocate somewhere else. Everybody give you a chance to escape, and I was like, oh, you're already outside in the desert.
You are?
Walk 10 paces,
It's
turn
a
around.
full circle moment in the
I
dream.
know,
He was told this is where his brother is trapped.
I get it.
His spirit, what have you.
I did like the shot of them driving over the caution tape and everything.
Yeah.
Because, and honestly, the driving over the caution tape is a little bit of symbolism as far as Wydell leaving his...
like walking the line. And
Exactly.
But inside, he has the three of them tied to chairs and stands in front of them. He thanks them for reminding him of his heritage because the Wydals have always been about vigilante justice. They've always been devil slayers. When Otis starts to pass out, Wydell kicks him and tells him to wake up. He says that he tried to walk the line, but now he sees that there is no line. He says that they're playing at a level that most people will never see. George never saw it. Spaulding offers him consolation, saying that maybe he had a divine moment when his brains hit the floor. Wydell says maybe Spaulding will too. I was like, Spaulding, stop.
Yeah.
Quit it. He takes out photographs of all the missing people within 100 miles. He shows a picture of a cheerleader saying that she was beautiful and anyone would fuck her. I'm like, Wydell, please. Then he shows how she was found in their home, dead and bloody, saying she's not so fuckable now. But Otis is like, well,
I swear to God.
I was like, be quiet.
Like, and again, these are our heroes.
Exactly, yeah.
It's awful.
He admits to killing her, and Wydell staples her picture to Otis's chest. A lot of staples.
Yes.
I was like, one probably did the job.
Want to make it stick.
Right. He takes out another picture, and when Baby takes credit for that kill, Spaulding tries to say that it was him. He doesn't take the bait and repeatedly staples her photo onto Baby's chest.
Again, I'm like, Spaulding's a stand-up guy.
Yeah. Father of
No, he's
the
not.
year.
No, he's not. He's terrible. He's a terrible human being.
But Spaulding winces. Wydell takes a drink from a bottle of alcohol and then shatters it against Otis's head.
Okay, so this is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Because Spaulding was the one talking shit and
Yes.
talking back. Baby also was. Otis had already gotten his punishment.
Right.
He was not saying anything.
There's an episode of King of the Hill where they all get taken in by...
I was thinking the exact same thing.
It's Mad Dog. And
Yes.
Dale's coming to rescue him. We just fucking talked about this with The Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Because they did the roses or whatever.
Yes. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Bill says something, Mad Dog slaps him in the face, and then Hank says something, and then Mad Dog slaps Bill in the face. It's like, why is Otis Bill? Why is Otis getting the brunt
I
of
had the
this?
exact same thought. Because I was like, that had nothing to do with
Yeah.
it.
He got stapled and he was silent, and then he's like,
Yeah, he's there. You don't want to feel left out.
yes.
It killed me. I laughed like, and he's like, ah, and
Yeah.
the scene just cuts. Oh my God. Anyway, later, Wydell is very drunk. He finally shows them a picture of his brother. He says that he was a good and trusting man, and that's probably what got him killed. He tells them all to take a look at the picture because he's the reason that they're dying tonight. Spaulding says that he remembers George. He was a stupid fuck, just like Wydell. He laughs weakly and says that all he had to do was point George in the right direction and he was off, which is what happened. Wydell quietly gets up and shocks him with a cattle prod before beating him with it. Otis starts to yell at him, so he shocks Otis too.
Yeah.
He's like, you didn't have ice cream, so
Yeah.
I don't see you as
I don't see,
I don't see you as a human.
I don't see how smart that is to get wasted and spend all this time.
I don't know.
You
He's
know,
going
like,
through a lot.
Yeah, but come on,
But
man.
still, you need to have your wits about you.
I understand maybe like let's have a drink, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
but to sit there and finish the whole bottle and want to keep talking
Yeah.
and
Dude, and the gulp that he takes of the liquor at the beginning,
Yeah.
it looks painful.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, Forsyth is killing it.
Oh, absolutely. Wydell says that he slayed a devil just the other day and takes out photographs to show Baby. But I'm like, the other day, like nobody has made any waves around
Hold on.
that she was found dead down there,
I thought
stabbed.
Yeah. I thought he killed her and then went straight to...
Me too.
Yeah.
I guess not.
Whatever.
He slept on it.
But it's Mother Firefly. Baby sobs, saying that the photos can't be real, but Wydell assures her that they are real. He details stabbing Mother Firefly as Baby struggles and sobs. She promises Wydell that she'll kill him, but Wydell only tells her to take a look at the photos because she was her mother's little angel and he's got something special planned for her. Baby tells him that she can't wait.
It felt like a very 2000s thing to say that the photo wasn't real.
Yeah.
I don't know that in the 70s they're like, that's Photoshop.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I didn't even think of that.
I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, you wouldn't know that.
I
was
wouldn't
like, get
think.
out of here.
Another petty thing that I just wanted to touch on, because we're in very tight on Baby's face this whole
Right.
time.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful woman.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I just want to point out the dichotomy of how she looks and how the rest of them look.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Captain Spaulding's teeth.
Yeah.
If we can just talk about that for a second. And then babies are perfect and white. Her hair
Yeah.
is beautiful. She's fucking clear skinned. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It's just funny to me. Like, she can't, like, her teeth
Everybody
can't be
else
fucked
is
up. You know what I
dirty,
mean?
but her.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's funny.
Well, because, I mean, when you think about it, they're all living the same life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're all eating the same
She's like,
chicken.
I gotta go floss.
Yeah.
Eating the same chicken. But they did his teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! I'm like, how are those still in? Like, I don't know how they're still in his head.
Rob Zombie had said that in the 7 months since the events of the first film, Spaulding has not flossed once.
He lost his toothbrush.
Yeah.
But later, Wydell says a prayer before nailing a nail through Otis's hands. Of course, Otis.
Yeah.
Stigmata style.
Which seemed like a lot.
I mean, he's having fun with it.
Yeah.
Otis screams and Wydell mocks him. Later still, when the three are asleep, he wakes baby up. She's untied and he tells her to run. She looks over at her brother and her father before listening to him and running from the room. With her gone, Wydell pours gasoline around the house and
It's a choice.
throws a lighter.
Yeah.
The lighter
The
gets.
lighter.
I think the lighter is credited. It's a lot.
It made me laugh because it's like
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it's a lot.
But the point is, he throws a lighter and the trail lights on fire and it leads to Otis and Spaulding. As the flames erupt, baby runs from the house, pulling the stapled photo off of her chest. Wydell rings the bell outside the house and chases baby with an axe, taunting her and telling her that he smells rabbit. You were not there for that.
No, he was not.
I was like, how do you know about that?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because, whenever he brings the photos, he stapled Otis's, and then he's like, what about Mary Knowles? Mary Knowles.
Oh, why'd they cut it out?
Well, that part's there where he says that, and then baby takes credit, and Spaulding's like, no. But that's the one that she chased down in the rabbit suit.
Yeah.
What they cut out was baby tells the story.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, I did her. I chased her down like a rabbit in the field and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So him saying that is him just repeating.
Why would you cut that out?
I have
Okay.
no idea because now it just looks like it's fan service.
Yeah.
Because you remember.
Yeah.
But in reality, baby just told him this story.
That's
Yeah.
lame.
All right.
I feel like he's made a lot of good decisions on what he chose to not keep.
Yeah.
But that should have been kept in.
I think so, too.
It would have made more sense.
Because
Yeah.
it feels like a plot hole because there's no way you knew about that.
Yeah.
Everybody that was there
Unless
isn't talking to
Yeah.
you or they're dead.
George's ghost is like, look, whenever she killed her, she did this like weird rabbit thing. She said, shoo, said the maid, and we don't know what the fuck.
I'm still trying to figure out what that.
All of us ghosts were like, what the fuck?
But as she runs, Wydell begins to howl at her and she searches for a weapon in the barn. Charlie steps out of the shadows and grabs her. She blames him, saying that he ruined everything, but he says there's no time for that now. She says that Spaulding and Otis are still in the house and he says that he'll take care of them, but he needs to get her somewhere safe. Inside the house, Otis wakes up and yells at Spaulding to get up. He rocks in his chair and tries to pull his hands free from the nails as Spaulding finally does wake up.
Did you notice he called him Cutter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know Cutter's origins.
That's why I'm saying it comes up more than once.
Because
and we're
Otis
just
is
like,
saying it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does that mean they're friends now?
Only my friends call me Cutter. And I just lost one. So now
Yeah.
you may take Charlie's spot. But outside, Charlie leads baby to his car and against her protests, puts her inside and tells her to wait. As soon as he turns around, baby screams his name. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but this reminds me of something else.
Okay.
As Wydell appears out of nowhere and axes him a question.
Of course.
He hits him with an axe.
Yes, he does. Hits him with it.
He chops him up.
There you go.
This was funny to me because I think of that that episode, the Treehouse of Horror
Of
with
course.
the Simpsons, when Willie's like, "I'm coming to rescue the Ladia," and then he just gets killed with an axe. That's what Charlie's like, "I'll get him," and then just gets killed by an
One of
axe.
the funny thing is it just reminded me of, The Shining, what they were parroting in that Simpsons
Oh
episode.
yeah.
He went the long way around.
Yeah.
No.
It was Willie.
It was Willie because it was Willie
All right.
for sure.
Sure.
I just didn't understand why he was so quick to put an axe in the uncle, but you leave them both tied up alive inside. You just let her run away. What are you? Why are you so quick to kill people who don't matter?
You probably don't matter.
Well, I don't mean like,
but
like,
you're
you're
savoring.
hunting
I
these
feel like he
people.
probably. I mean, maybe that's part of it. Is he's wanting them to suffer, and maybe Charlie's just in the way, or he thinks he can overpower Baby, and maybe he can't Charlie, so he needs to get him out of the.
Charlie's a big dude.
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, but I mean, okay, but you still before that you lit the fire and then left.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah, he
mean,
Oh yeah, he did.
we all know not to do that.
I
Right.
mean, that's just a horror movie villain
Yeah.
101.
Yeah. But Charlie falls to the ground, and Wydell continues to hit him with the axe until he comes for Baby. Now, when Charlie put Baby in the convertible, the top was down, but now it's
Yeah.
up.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Wydell breaks the window with his axe, and Baby gets out and runs. He yells at her to run away, and as she does, he shoots her in the calf. He goes over to her, picking up a piece of leather on the way. He whips her, asking her how it feels to be helpless, and finally he gets on top of her and strangles her. Everything is in slow motion as Tiny comes out of nowhere. It's like, oh yeah, Tiny!
Yeah.
And pulls Wydell off of her. The speed returns to normal as Tiny breaks Wydell's neck and just tosses him to the side.
Like he's nothing.
Yeah.
And I will say the way that it's shot, it makes him look even larger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like this dude's 90 feet tall.
At least. Tiny helps Baby get to her feet, but she tells him that Otis and Spaulding are still in the house and to go get them. I did read an interview where it said that Sherry Moon Zombie was so affected by doing this scene that it took them 3 hours to film it that she couldn't come to work for 2 days.
Jesus.
Like it like really fucked her up and disturbed her, which I get.
Yeah.
But I'm
Well,
like, if your own wife is like, I don't know. He's like, no, do it again.
Yeah.
I'm just like, Jesus.
pulling a Kubrick over here.
Right? I think he had something to do with that one episode of The Simpsons, that Treehouse of Horror.
Hey, no, he did not. Holy Lord.
But inside, the fire is raging and they're still tied to their chairs. They cough and struggle, but Tiny comes in. He pulls the nails out of Otis's hands, causing blood to pour out and Otis to scream. He unties Otis and the two free Spaulding. They go outside where they cough and gasp for air. Spaulding and Baby hug each other, relieved that they're both still alive. The farmhouse continues to burn as we get one more shot of Wydell dead in the grass.
The shot of the farmhouse in the blue night.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Otis gets behind the wheel of Charlie's convertible and Tiny helps Spaulding and Baby into the back seat. Otis asks Tiny if he's sure about this, and Tiny nods. Otis accepts his decision and tells him that they will come back for him. He drives away, Baby weakly waving at Tiny as he walks back up to the burning farmhouse. He disappears inside and the fire rages as Otis drives away.
There is almost an explosion of fire.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, Tiny's...
He's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, but in all fairness, Rob Zombie said in commentary, he said, Tiny knows this is it.
Yeah.
They're not coming back for them.
No.
This isn't Thunder Gun.
We'll come back for you as they drive off.
Yeah. So, I mean, they know what's going on.
We cut to an empty highway in the morning light as Freebird by Lynyrd Skynyrd begins to play. Charlie's blue convertible drives down the road with Otis still behind the wheel. Spaulding and Baby are passed out in the back seat. Spliced in with them, bloody and weak, is footage of them in happier times, laughing together outside. I read that this was from a rap party, that this wasn't
Oh, wow.
for the movie specifically. But, and I'm like, that makes sense because why are like Otis and Spaulding like hugging and stuff?
It's like they never.
But this was
Yeah.
just, I don't know if it was a party, but it was just footage of them just hanging out. And I feel like it works.
It does.
It would work more if they were redeemable at all, like as people. But it is kind of like, oh man, like we used to be a family.
It didn't.
We are family.
No, none of that.
It didn't work for me because that's not the characters we know from
It's
the
not.
movie.
It's not.
So
No,
you
it's-
want me to believe
It's
this?
clearly Sherry Moon, Sid Haig,
Yeah.
and Bill Moseley.
Just hanging out.
But in present day, Otis abruptly stops the car. He stares through the windshield and we finally see what he's looking at. A massive roadblock of cop cars with armed officers standing outside of it. Through more spliced videos of happier times, Otis reaches into the backseat and wakes up Spaulding and Baby. Though we can't hear anything but Freebird, they scream in pain as soon as they wake up. Like they're fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Otis passes guns into the back seat and Baby and Spaulding ready themselves. They laugh, nodding their heads and propping themselves up. As Freebird continues, they point their guns at the cops. The officers, including Dobson, scramble as they get ready to fire. Otis drives forward, shooting with one hand as Baby and Spaulding fire from the back seat. The cops shoot back, hitting each one of them, but they keep firing as they take bullets. The solo hits and the shootout continues until it freezes on each of them. Finally, we freeze on Spaulding as he takes another bullet. Everything is silent except for the gunshots that ring out, and it fades to black. Seeds of Memory by Terry Reid plays as we travel down the highway while the credits roll. So, what did you guys think of The Devil's Rejects?
So, there's an old saying that goes,
Oh, no.
you don't have nothing nice to say. No, I'm just
Okay.
It's a movie, you know, it does what it's supposed to do, and I guess I couldn't wrap my head around wanting to root for these people.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of mistakes made by characters in this movie that would have cut the runtime of this movie down a lot
For sure.
if taken the right or making the right decisions.
Very fair.
But I mean, for what this movie does, or you know, for the target audience that it's at, I get it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not for me. This is one that I can. And I'll apologize, and I don't want to sound like I'm saying anything bad about the movie, but like it's just not for me.
Right.
Like I'll be honest, if I never seen it again, it would never bother me. Like I wouldn't. It wouldn't hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't shed a tear.
We get it.
You know, all right.
I might smile.
I'd be happy if we're
Be
being
a fonder of time.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, and I think it is that, and I didn't like us talking about it did make me see there is good, like you said in the movie 50-50. I think that's what really hurt it for me was that
Okay.
it was just bouncing back and forth, and it's like I said, come on, give me one thing to cling on to here because I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Right.
And at times it seemed like it was just, well, what else can we do to gross people out, or what else we do for people to be like, oh shit, man, like come on, give me a little more than that. You know what I mean? I want to think a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I am one to always say I want to turn my mind off, and just see killing and all that, but that's not what this was something else. I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, I mean, it, like I said, for what it was meant to do, I get it, you know?
It feels like you made that wish on a monkey's paw.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah,
The finger goes down and you're like, hell yeah. And you're like, oh.
yeah.
I should have been more specific.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have like a nostalgic kind of fondness for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It is such a mixed bag, and watching it as an adult is so different.
Yeah.
And you're noticing shit that as a kid you just flat out overlooked.
Yeah.
And then these characters that are completely irredeemable, which I, again, have no issue with an anti-hero.
Yeah.
These aren't,
But
they're not.
That's not what
that's
this
not.
is.
They're
Yeah.
straight villains.
Yeah.
And then I mean, the way that they set up their arcs, there is almost, they're like, root for them here at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wydell's a fucking dick.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But it's like, he's avenging the death of his brother and countless other women.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
That were murdered for
no
nothing.
reason.
For no reason.
But I mean, I like some stuff. There's some stuff that I love. There's some stuff that I don't like. And there's some stuff I downright hate. So it's just strange fucking movie. But I do want to say that the ending is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's remarkable. It's memorable. I think that from this point forward, Freebird kind of belongs to the Devil's Rejects.
Yeah.
No film could really ever use it again without you thinking of this moment, at least not for me.
Yeah.
I think that the timing of the music as they use it is brilliant. Her shouting silently, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That defiant to the end kind of thing.
Yeah.
Their Bonnie and Clyde moment.
Knowing, yeah.
Yeah, they know that they're going to die.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just think that it's perfect. They're like screaming, fuck you to the end.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that they're such irredeemable assholes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But on the positive side, the good thing is that they are definitely dead and that there's no way they could survive this, and there's no way that they would ever, make another one. It's a definitive end, right? Right, Nay?
So, don't fucking get me started.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh my God.
We'll get to that one day.
I know we will, but oh my God. Disappointment is not even a fun. Anyway, yeah, like the way that Kent refuses to acknowledge the last few seasons of Game of Thrones.
Yes.
This is it. It's really weird that, that he cut it off after 2, right?
Yeah. Just 2 films? You didn't want to do a trilogy?
No.
Brilliant ending, Rob.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 ending.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel that way. I think that the ending of this film is absolutely perfect. Like I said, I think more toward the beginning, there are 2 moments where, and the ending is the Freebird moment is one of them.
Yeah.
Also the moment where Rondo and Billy Ray come in and do their thing.
Fantastic.
I would not change a moment of, those are great to me. Like, that is great film.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when there's these other moments, I'm like, I know that you can do better. It's like, live up to your potential.
It's unbelievable.
I'm just Rob Zombie's mom at this point. Expect more from yourself. No, this was a really interesting film to revisit because I did love it so much when I was younger. And working on the script, I really did spend probably over the first half cringing that I ever really, really loved this. And then the second half kind of remembering why I did. I think that the issue is you have this really dramatic ending that really could bring forth a lot of emotion if you didn't create such disgusting characters.
Yeah.
I want to know what happened to Rondo and Billy Ray. I want to know what happened to Cleavon because he got straight disrespected and then we never see this man.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
As soon as they got back, he packed his bag.
Yeah, and then left. Right.
Like, fuck it. I can't.
This isn't for me. I hope he made it out. We had a very small list of people that were decent people. I think Cleavon, we should have him.
What was it? 3 people?
Yes. Now it's 4.
Very good.
The performances, when they shine, they shine.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like William Forsythe specifically, but of course also Bill Moseley and Sid Haig.
Yes.
Really gave it everything. They gave it everything that they had. I can't complain there. But on the other side of that coin, that makes the weaker performances like Ken Foree. I think he was great in this too.
Yeah, he was.
But that makes Sherry Moon Zombie really stick out like a sore thumb because, and she's even said that she's not an actress. She only does his movies, but it's like, you're right. I don't know how
you
else
said
to,
what I was thinking.
I don't know how else to, she knows.
Fair.
He knows. We all know. The music, really, I feel like there are some aspects of this film that without the music, this film would kind of fall apart. I feel like it almost is the glue holding, or the duct tape holding this together sometimes.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, the music is brilliant.
It was excellently picked, excellently placed. Again, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, are you playing dumb? Are you trying to make this grittier? It's just, there are certain points. You look at that scene at Charlie's, you look at the ending, and it does not match up to shit that we see at the hotel.
No.
Shit that we see at the beginning at the Firefly farmhouse. How did the same person, it's just really, it doesn't fit to me. But anyway.
Yeah. You're like having a struggle with yourself.
I am. It's just, it's because there is a lot of nostalgia. To the point where I was embarrassed writing the script that I was like, I fucking love that movie because I loved this so much. And looking back, I'm like, I can see why a teenage me did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
adult you,
it doesn't stand up to the test of time. That being said, I don't hate it. In those moments where it shines, just leave me very confused because I don't know how to feel about this as a whole. But I guess we can go into ratings.
All right, that works.
I kind of just went off about what I thought. The bottom line is when this is good, it's really, really good. But it suffers because in those moments where it's not as good, you've created these monsters that it's impossible to root for.
Yeah.
And so in these moments where they are sold out by Charlie, where they are taken hostage, where they are tortured,
yes,
where they go out to the bitter end being who they are. I would have really liked to be able to root for them in those moments, and you can't.
No, honestly, just make them killers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I can easily root for
It just
the killer.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
We talked about that with Freddy Krueger, where it's
Exactly.
like, no, just kill them.
Yeah, if you just kill
the
them,
kids.
that's fine.
Please.
That's fine.
But I don't know. There's this weird like I'm fighting with myself. And maybe my inner child is like, no, this was it's like, bitch, be quiet. Like, but
Well, you're mean to child you.
bitch is a term of endearment.
Oh, okay.
I think that on a scale from 1 to 10, tutti fucking fruity treats. And I don't necessarily recommend that you go and watch this for the first time in 2022. I feel like maybe if you loved this when you were younger, revisit it and go on the journey that I did. But the moments that work. I just can't. I'm struggling here.
No, it's a lot.
We retroactively gave House of 1,000 Corpses 6.5.
Yes, as did I.
I'm going to give, this is so hard. I'm giving it to the performances, and I'm giving it to the two moments that I talked about that are really excellent to me.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to give The Devil's Rejects 6 tutti fucking fruity treats out of 10 tutti fucking fruity treats.
Very good.
And I will now open up this is probably one of the hardest films I've ever rated.
I think it's going to be a little difficult for me as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, I will now open up the floor so I can shut the fuck up.
So we already know how I feel.
Yeah.
I won't mix words. I think I know you guys have said it before that there's certain movies that y'all wish y'all seen as, when y'all were younger. So
For
it
sure.
had that, nostalgic feeling for y'all. This I watched as a young adult.
Yeah.
So I already was watching it in a different lens.
Yeah.
And then watching it still as an even older adult. Now it's like, it's like I still don't, I like it even less.
Yeah.
But I don't think, like I said, talking about it, I don't think that it's like, I'm not sitting here like, this is a bad movie. Like I said, for what it's supposed to do, that's what it does. And it does have good performances and good people in here. But it's just not my bag, you know what I mean? It doesn't.
I don't mean to interrupt, but you saying that, Roger Ebert gave this a thumbs up.
Yeah, it got 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, because he said that this is not a good film, but it does what it set out to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel the same way, you know what I mean? Give me 2 thumbs up my ass. I still don't like it.
Okay.
I mean, it's not, what do you... I mean, what do you want? What do you want me to say here?
I was saying he said what you said.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I know,
wasn't
but
asking you to put their thumbs in your ass.
That took a turn. I don't know what happened.
What do you want me to do with
Yeah.
this?
But no, and it does. That's what I'm saying. For what it's supposed to do, it does,
Uh-huh.
and it does have the good moments and the bad moments, and I think that's where I struggle a lot with it. Some of the dialogue too is like, geez, did a 15-year-old write this?
Yeah.
It's like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? And see, even there, I said one fuck.
Yes.
I didn't. The fucking
Yeah.
fuck movie. It's like,
No.
we don't need all that. It's like, calm down. I didn't just learn how to cuss.
And it sounds like, yeah.
That's
it's
what it
chill
felt
out.
like.
Yeah.
But for me, on a scale from 1 to 10, tutti fucking fruity treats,
Yes.
I'm gonna give The Devil's Rejects a 3
Okay.
because I gave House of 1,000 Corpses a 4.
Fair.
And like I said, it's just. That's for, I want to at least give something and not just be like, oh, this movie, because a lot of people did work on this movie and
Yes.
they did give, good performances. I just feel like for me, like I said, 1, it's not my type of thing.
Yeah.
2, it's all over the place and
Uh-huh.
it loses me, and like I said, the dialogue is it's like, I'll pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you love it, fantastic. You know what I mean? I love it too for you.
Yeah.
But it's just like I said, for me, it's just not my bag,
Yeah, and I can respect that. I mean,
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of things about it that I have more forgiveness for because I saw it so young.
Yeah. And I'm sure I would too.
Yeah.
There's that nostalgic. It's like the rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.
I think you said mostly everything, the positives that I agree with. performances, all that business. I think the thing for me is I really appreciate the little nods to House of a Thousand Corpses. It's very admirable that he went such a drastically different way with this film.
Right.
But I also have to say, as admirable as it is, on the negative side, it's kind of too different.
Yeah.
And these characters that fit very well in that cartoonish psychedelic environment don't really translate well to this real world situation.
And maybe if it was like House of a Thousand Corpses, I probably would have liked this a lot better.
I think,
because the cartoonish atmosphere would have been like, oh, that's fucking silly, but that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly.
And the weird like cutaways and everything, I feel like I understand this is more of a film.
Right.
But it also feels like, I'm not saying Rob Zombie edited himself, but if House of a Thousand Corpses was what he had in his head, there's some flavor missing.
Yeah.
As far as like these, I want to where in the past 7 months, what happened to the skunk ape?
We all want to know.
What happened?
He had improper relations.
That's, I think, all what we were worrying about this entire film.
I waited until post credits to see if we got a skunk ape update.
No, it's like Marvel. They're teasing Skunk Ape the movie. But I think like the biggest problem I have is the script itself.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of really good moments. There's a lot of decent dialogue. We've already talked about the Tarantino comparisons. I just think that, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's all right. Yeah, we got it. We've fuck me. Yes.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, you win. That's fine.
Yeah, fine. I'll go fuck myself. I got it. But I think that the real difficulty is I want anti-heroes. I want to relate to these people.
On any level.
On any level. And he made it impossible. And even on House of a Thousand Corpses, you're like, man, these fucking kids are annoying.
Yeah.
And it's fine that you've turned them into a fish.
Yeah.
That's much easier to digest than what Otis
we saw here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's less fun. And I want to have fun with these characters.
Yeah.
Because they're big characters.
That's exactly. That's what they are.
And then the performances from Sid Haig and, Bill Moseley, fucking all these, you want to relate.
Yeah.
And they do great work, but the work they're given in some aspects isn't great.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, it does. They did the best possible with what they had, with what they were given.
Yeah. So for me, on a scale from 1 to 10, tutti fucking fruity treats, I revised my score on House of a Thousand Corpses at 6.5. I will be giving The Devil's Rejects 6 tutti fucking fruity treats out of 10.
I was like,
I almost said 6. I was like, that's not right. I'm not giving this 100%.
Well, that's all from us at Pod Mortem. What would you rate The Devil's Rejects, and what should we watch next? Let us know on Twitter at The Pod Mortem. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and like us on Facebook. Be sure to follow each of us on Twitter at Blood and Smoke, at RealStreeter84, and at TravisMWH. Please consider pledging to our Patreon and stay tuned until after the music for a special shout out to our Wendigo Getter patrons. And remember, while living on your own terms is admirable, you need to be prepared to die by them as well. Until next time. Thank you for staying tuned for our thank you to our Wendigo Getter patrons.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
No, fuck you. Fuck you. A special fuck you to... No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, please stay.
A special thank you to Chris Ontiveros, Kristen Lofton, Megan Martinez, Kimberly Bass, Sophie Hodson, Anthony Jerome M., Jordan Nash, Kent Morton, Guy 54, Lala Thomas, Travis Anissa Hunter, Miguel Myers ATX, Jennifer Perez, Pierre Lombard, Allison O'Neill, Carissa, TJ and Angie Bronson, Gabrielle Trevino, Spooky Mom, Andy Teague, Applin Ontiveros, Karima Rhodes, Antonio Huerta, Kimberly Kleindienst, Will Brown, Sydney Smith, Osvaldo Soto, Jonathan Booth, Bobby Holmes, Donna Eason, JD Rizak, Molly Gerhart, Armand Spasto, Aaron Aguirre, Eggy, William Barry, Brittany Ramatar, Charity Oxner, Amanda Six, Mandy Rainwater, Eden, Jordan Roberts, Dylan, Melissa Sierra, Holly Bryan, Jordan Blevins, Michelle Moore, Liz Heath, Spencer Montalvo, Pancake the Panda, John Ramos, Michael Newting, Alexis Roberts, Dan Laveau, Itzy M, Gary Horton, Amanda Aliff, Leisha Olivier, Kate Lamp, Carlos and Sydney, Jessica Hunter, Helena Rudder, Alan Johnston, Mariah, Livy Fun, Mandy M, Scott Troutman, Towton Watson, Mozzie Bear, Brittany G, Dave Burke, Adrian Stakes, Craig Kowalski, Daniel McGinnis, Nick Spill, Emma Hagel Kissinger, Ashley Weidman, and Angelica Cornelius Witt.
Woo!
Thank you all
Yes,
very, very
thank
much.
you.
Can't thank you
Yes.
enough.
Thank you.
Where's my inhaler? No, we just want to thank you specifically for letting us crawl all up in your head.
And we'll see you in fucking hell.
I'm so sorry.
We're all right.
Until next time.